drag the UI elements, but I'm not. It's slower. See, that's one limitation. Switch. Such hot.
Okay guys, so what do I think about the RTX Half-Life 2 demo remake? So pretty much I think it's pretty awesome. Like as of now, there's basically only 2 chapters, but because there's a pretty big team of about 100 people working on the game, it's gonna be remade probably pretty soon here, maybe within the next year, maybe 6 months. It really just depends on how fast the team moves. So what I want to focus on is how to give the game more physics, how to add more destructible environments, if possible add a layer of destructible environments to any interactable components of the game, and also to change how the water and the dirt interactions work. So you should be able to dig holes, you should be able to make craters, that kind of thing. Games from the early 2000s like Red Faction actually had the ability to have craters. They had particle physics and stuff, but the problem is how they implement it throughout the whole game. It doesn't seem like it's done thoroughly in most games. And so anyway, I'm pretty excited about this RTX remake because I think that the RTX Remix platform is a really cool platform for remaking games. I think that they're going to be able to do a great job with the Half-Life 2 remake. So far, I think it looks pretty good. It just needs a lot of finishing touches, and it needs to step it up a notch and take the physics and the game to its next level. So with the RTX remake, obviously there's going to be better lighting, there's better particle lighting and all that. But how do we add particle lighting, or how do we add particle physics to the actual objects and give the objects like the ability to become dented? Or how do we add more gibs? So I don't want things to be disappearing in the game. It does not seem like objects should be disappearing from a game like this. It just doesn't make sense. You know, back in the early 2000s, it made sense. You break an object, it has to disappear because you're trying to save on resources. Now we're not trying to save on resources. I mean, we always are trying to save on resources, but not in that visual aspect of it, because the whole point of these remakes is to make them more visually appealing. So those breakable gibs, they have to stay. So when you break a box and then it breaks apart and then those pieces disappear, we want those pieces to actually stay. So that's what I'm going to be trying to figure out how to do with this platform. So if you guys have any ideas on how to make the game better, it would be really interesting to hear. But I do not want to just reskin the game, add new models, add new lighting. The game should be, of course, it is a remake, so it has to stay true to the original game's essence and what the game stands for. But even in the original Half-Life 2, I remember thinking, why is there not more destructible environments? What is the big deal here with that? And so that's what I want to work on. That's what I want to add.
Energy patterns that subtly reshape our world with conflict. And what about reports of strange apparitions in service of government? Blurry figures following security cameras. Is it electronic devices malfunctioning in localized zones? Workers reporting odd dreams and negativity? These could be side effects of a gateway that remains ajar. What if the reports already occurred, and we're just now noticing the consequences begin out? If so, every scientific experiment, every technological advance, and every cultural shift can be influenced by unseen forces leaking through the region. We started with a bold question. Did CERN open the gateway that remains ajar? Not science fiction, not engineering, and the real possibilities grounded in high energy experiments, untried data, and philosophical impacts. As we've seen, it wasn't his job. It was reality of encountering reports of strange intelligence. At the time, the glitches and instruments on unexplained thermal spikes, bizarre magnetic years, all coinciding with some experiments most often reexamined. According to these ones, including Nobel's example, then came the Mandela effect, collective memory shift suggesting that reality itself not to be a state, something like energy could alter time with watching ourselves. So what could CERN hide? Things are the cause of those operations here. Could it all be evidence that our dimensions here has led to the reason how we work? We don't need quantum mechanics energy to suggest built universe like a solid or isolated structure, but an entangled web of possibilities. The AI capable of leading past events and even emerging, and it's already been processed just beyond galaxies. These are the quantum placing on the time reverse down this project. Now all of us point to reality is located by perhaps too far. And then the possibility that none of this is physical in the radiation in the simulation data suggests we may be living in a reality, and CERN's collider might be interacting with the code that's exposing hidden architecture. Something never seen before. Why this kind of layered on top of this ancient growth plans for myths and prophecies describing portals, wires, never unknowns, connects from thousands of years ago, one eerily mirrors our modern business and were our ancestors clearly tell us what they knew, or were they really investing more time and years between dimensions? And through it all, one thread every day analyzed secrets, but why, despite being one of the most ambitious scientific endeavors in history, discern remain wrapped in mystery and antiquity. Why do theories of dimensional causality, glitches in reality, and consciousness shifts so often the emissions of the electron Virgo? If CERN has indeed opened the doorway, we can even unintentionally the implications of stagnant. This one means our universe is not self-repeating. We're no longer isolated as we're exposed. We may not be alone, not in a cosmic sense, but in interaction with entities, energies, planets, systems of physics from beyond. What is every bleeding world? What is that? That's true. Everything we think we know about matter, time, space, and even cells could be subject to change. Some scientists, but this isn't just a warning. It's an opportunity. If other dimensions are accessible, even slightly, even momentarily, it could lead to evolution and breakthroughs. Yet the new technology, faster than light travel, dimensional communications, produce insight into the nature of consciousness, soul, and mind that no microscope could ever reveal. Multi-similar could be the key to answering questions like this. You may be asked from present points in time because what is reality? Are we alone? And so we're alone. At 21 Virgo, one path leads back to don't deny. Writing everything off as a coincidence.
Worth it for your time.
And closing the door, even if you're going to the other path is Virgo is the willingness to confront truths that may be bigger than each has. It asks us to pierce these doors like uncertain what we're functioning and walk away. So maybe the real question isn't concern and maybe interacting with answer. Maybe the real question is what will we do with the thermal signals? Will we choose fear? It also interact. Will we into the autonomous behavior or start charting an infinite fungible building we are making because it seems to go as a text and what lies beyond every thought might redefine the design of human life. If you're fascinated by CERN's open radiation, hit that like button and then try more deep dives into science might create a link between us. In our next episode, we'll explore the secrets of ancient gateways hidden and how modern physics may finally be unfolding. Don't miss it. Click subscribe. Scientists are not notifications. We are away from coincidentally. They ran a test run going 18 miles per hour and the prime number coding ground behaviors was and the result was that the cosmic chip didn't just comprehend the globe's lottery. 17 could be the question. Did the moon's geological history really conspire to write a
keep moving even when nobody's watching. That's the kind of self-assurance that isn't common. Most people need validation just to get out of bed. You get up, show up, and handle your business without needing a cheerleader. You learn that your value isn't tied to visibility, and your peace isn't required participation. That's why they don't know how to deal with you. They can't figure out why you're so calm without applause, why you're not chasing anyone's attention, why you don't fold under pressure. Prove yourself. It's because you're already known. You already know who you are. You did the work. You sat in silence and healed parts of yourself. Most people avoid it. And in doing that, you became whole without an audience, without a spotlight, without needing constant reassurances. They think that you without asking confirmation, that you don't need their compliments. Feel worthy for their presence to feel them, because they do, and deep down they wish they had strength that's solid in themselves, that most people can't handle the silence long enough to meet their real self. You did. You made peace with it. You learned how to thrive in it, and that's why they envy you. You're not just independent, you're internally validated. Once someone reaches that level, they can't be manipulated. They can't evade it. They don't flinch. They're free. You're free. Commercial break.
Entire families coming to the emergency department, injured, killed. Stories of a father walking around barefoot, desperately looking for his now dead children. Of a mother who gave birth only 7 days ago who cannot find her newborn baby or her 9-year-old child, later to find out that both are trapped under the rubble and dead. Of a 14-year-old boy whose entire family has been killed, who's now receiving extensive surgery for his wounds, wishing that he himself was killed too. Or of our colleague who this morning, a nursing colleague from the operating room who this morning was killed when we weren't able to resuscitate. These are just some of the horrors that we witnessed during our time here. People here are desperate for safety, shelter, food. Please do everything in your power to help those who so desperately need your help here in Lisbon.
National Rescue Committee, donate now, rescue.org. You're free, and that alone makes you a threat. Number 3, you've mastered detachment. That makes you untouchable. You learn how to let go, and that's why you're untouchable. People get attached to everything. Titles, attention, outcomes, opinions. They obsess over control, over being liked, over what's next. But not you. You've mastered the art of detachment. That doesn't mean you don't care. It means you don't cling. You don't move with peace, not desperation. You move with peace, not desperation. You're involved, not angry. You show up fully. There's something called heart. You don't fall with it. That shapes you. You don't understand how you care deeply without becoming independent. How you love someone without needing them deeply, completely. Walk away from everything that doesn't serve you, even if it once felt like something, because you stayed lost. It didn't break you. You had doors slammed in your face, and you kept walking. You've been misunderstood, overlooked, underestimated, and instead of begging to be seen, chose to see yourself. That level of emotional discipline is rare. Most people are ruled by their attachments. They stay in places they've outgrown because they're scared of what's next. They hold on to relationships that drain them just to feel wanted. They chase validation just so they won't feel empty. But you're different. You hate people, uncertainty. You trust your instincts. It's more than just a noise. You'd rather be alone than in a room that costs you your peace. That kind of clarity feels threat. People who live in fear of letting go, you don't react. You respond. You don't panic when something ends because you know your value doesn't come from what.
But it's this kind of frozen place with strange eruptions from the surface that can rise up into space but then go flat.
It began to generate questions about space telescope, just specifically on radiation burst from this unmassive, and here's an explanation for it. 8 days later, one of those predicted bursts is actually a stellar collapse.
But it's in the world of accidents because we're using that behavior in technology.
What if the world's most powerful project didn't just find a temporary but opened the doorway for another dimension? In April 2055, something strange happened on the surface, and scientists have been taking it apart. And reports of unexplained and anything else, sudden magnetic field spikes, significant thermal anomalies flooded the eastern only to vanish on the substar spring. Today, we feel that the rail is really under space. It's CERN inadvertently cracked open. If only goes down is not a land of earthly communication. By the end of this week, it could mean that these announcements were detected. It could be suggested the first sign of positive prediction that the unexplained data from CERN's collisions, high energy collisions, are possibly routinely generated. And terrible radio and energy readings facing honestly in space. But in early April 2005, operators noticed something odd. Detectors in the Atlas and CMS constantly began registering spikes in energy that penetrated deeper into the a thermal sensor below the beam cloud reported these initial showtime of several degrees Celsius to 3.6. And magnetic harmonics embedded in the superclear API was detected rapid fluctuations in the field. Twisted ripples as if an unseen force had entered the lighter's guidance. Engineers initially blamed for these errors, but multiple independent subsystems the signal along the same anomaly with precisely the same amplitude rate. We cross-checked the eliminated sensor format radio software while also no data for returning this. What remained of the series began to web glitch. Those signals defined as headings to the fundamental the question loomed patterns almost were
with Monday.com's intuitive
these strange glitches or evidence of cosmological activity. Could collisions in 13.6 TeV have done more than liberate or realize fearless might they evoke a hole in the fabric of space-time? The Mandela effect proved that reality has changed from one version of the other and the world started noticing it was sending back millions of important memories of events in Atlantis, possibly the Berenstein Bears spelled with A, not as easy as the Monopoly Man story model. This movie line was essentially given by entire fan who trained effect. This phenomenon dubbed the Mandela effect here suggests that collective memory can shift randomly. The skeptics attributed a system information explosion to transmission. What if timelines are not physically fluid, capable of leading into one basis? Imagine CERN's high-energy artifact not only smashing barriers, but also nudging our research design to experiment. Each collision might momentarily flow the waters, allowing fragments of the technology design to experiment. The Mandela effect attracts high-energy systems like those of CHIINESE. If our reality is but one round in a vast process, and perhaps some transmutation of 18 hosts and individual memories, and even if the movie tropes might flicker into consider what happened next. If you remember the Berenstein Bears, you may be happy to do without economics or replication. And if CERN's collisions go to erase the intermutual range, the memory impact transposing, leaving us questioning are we experiencing quantum leap? Beyond cultural glitches, the CERN anomalous extended to the researchers observed electrons exhibiting tunneling far seem irregular. Theoretically, particles seem to tell them what they're doing. Unknown subdivisions of recent neutrino jump near the LHC site reports fleeting bursts of high-energy neutrinos in unaccounted for by every 6 meanwhile, and folks at generations that could in theory register straight gamma waves at a light hours. At this point, the implication remains a classical quantity on the roads when a particle has a calculated probability that has to be verified, but these events are started rates 2,000 times higher than predicted. Was this true in itself? Nothing was in mind relative to these epsilon verb. What if these are not just works of quantum mechanics, but quantum mechanics literal escapes of particles in other dimensions, and occasional CERN results that seem seamless? If CERN's experiments are creating like risks to make particles to discuss wandering extra-dimensional world and reappear the question of this is more than people tied of the data to energy games of place, and sometimes reassessing the faith has focused on if chosen CERN is to walk through the world, it shattered chosen letting reality people hide behind deception. Now let's escalate games of manipulate simulation hypothesis posits are unique subtle ways to in a simulation imagine the LHC now everything the moment you stepped into your own energy those magnetic functions full power of presence something within you shifted and in that shift you changed the way others interact. Women who once used games as a way of testing their results to provoke emotion to see how much control they can wield now find themselves unable to they sense something different something that makes their usual strategies feel ineffective and useless. There's no need for tricks, no need to create artificial tension, no need to pull away just to see the chase. They already know. You are not a man who chases illusion. This is the power of clarity. You no longer participate in games because you see through them. You are no longer swayed by mixed signals, carefully crafted words of manipulated emotions. No longer get caught in confusion. Analyze your meanings, question your attention. There is no room for uncertainty. Because your very presence demands honesty. Women feel this the moment they step into your knowledge. They feel the weight of your voice, certainty of gaze, steadiness. They realize, whether consciously or instinctively, you are not a man, not because you are aggressive, not because you react to anger or frustration, because you are completely impractical. They do not flinch at mind games, do not even acknowledge this is why they use their This is why they find themselves real, open, honest, in a way they did not expect. It is not something of force. It is something your energy demands. And a man is full within himself. He does not need to prove that he does not seek validation from the outside. It creates an atmosphere of foolishness. You are no longer someone who is tested, no longer someone who is afraid. no longer someone who entertains the afternoon of emotional manipulation. You have outgrown that step beyond it, become something that exists outside the game's other skill tree. Because of that, you will only attract what is right. Chosen whose energy is at guilt. It does not allow deception to enter. It does not entertain fear. It does not permit dishonesty to enter. Something so refined, so pure, and certain that people cannot help but respond to it. Women who once relied on mystery, creating emotional ups and downs, and playing with uncertainty, now find themselves unable to bring this habit into their space. They feel it, deeply, you are not the man who begs for answers, or waits for clarity, or tries to decode signals that will potentially lead to reality. You are not a man who bends to confusion, you are clarity itself. When you speak, you do so with certainty. Listen, do so with full attention. Do so with attention. And that is what really makes deception possible. Women have learned to read men, to sense hesitation, to recognize when someone is seen.
We have seen that before. We call it matter, negative matter. Negative matter will stabilize the so then this will just go through it to another point that
There's no insecurity, no doubt, no hidden desire for validation. You are unshaken, grounded in something much deeper than external perception. This is why women choose to be direct. This is why they drop their ideas. Why they do not test you. They know they do not want to. They know you have nothing to prove. They know that any attempt at deception only reveal what you can let themselves finish their sentence. On this, something happened. They begin to trust you, not just as someone they threaten, not just as someone they respect, but as a presence that allows them to be free from the games they have expression. You feel the relief of not having to pretend, ease of not having to perform, freedom of being able to express what they truly feel without fear of being judged or used. This is the power of authenticity. Chosen man. It is not just about being true to yourself. It is about forcing the world to be true in return. It is about carrying an energy so pure, so clear, so completely at ease with itself, that others must either rise to meet it or remove themselves because they cannot handle the intensity of truth. Women will no longer play games with you, not because you tell them not to, not because you argue against their tactics, but because they know in their deepest instincts that it is useless, that it is unnecessary, that it is a waste of time in the presence of a man who has already won the game by refusing to play it. You have reached a level where only what is real remains. And that, more than anything, is why you will never again experience deception in the way you once did. Because a man who lives in truth is surrounded only by truth. Chosen one, respect is not something that is asked for, nor is it something that can be demanded. It is something that is earned through presence, through energy, through the way you carry yourself without bending to the forces around you. You have reached a level where your presence alone creates a different kind of interaction. The women who once toyed with men for amusement now find themselves unable to do the same. Not because you fight against it, not because you push back with resistance, but because your very being rejects anything that is not rooted in sincerity. Women do not treat you as they do other men because they sense, almost instinctively, that you are not deception. Do not chase, do not flinch at rejection, do not seek approval, do not allow yourself to be emotionally pulled into dynamics that serve one purpose. There is a stillness in that, a certainty, a knowing that you are already complete, already whole, already standing exactly where you are meant to be. But that kind of presence does not invite games, it does not invite uncertainty, it does not give space for manipulation. I have seen men fall into their traps before, seen men eagerly take bait, seen men fight for attention that was never true to give it in the first place. But when they stand before you, they realize that none of those strategies work. The moment they attempt to stir confusion, to doubt, cause your very existence is destiny. They are met with nothing but silence, stillness, and unwavering presence that does not respond to dance. This is why women respect you in a way they do not respect others. It is not just about what you say, it's not just about what you do. It is about who you are when no one is watching, who you are when you do not need anything from you, who you are when they try to push and pull you to find out you do not move. And so they adjust, their words change, their tone softens, their intentions become clearer, because they know that with you there is no room for deception, no space for uncertainty, no tolerance for games that waste time and energy. They do not come to you with half-truths. They do not test you. You are the storm they fear. Here's where I need to check you, chosen ones, because even you started to believe this, didn't you? You let the fog creep in, thinking the universe had abandoned you. But hear me now, the universe never leaves its chosen. It sharpens them in silence. Let me give it to you straight. There's something about being chosen that haunts your enemies at night. It's the weight of knowing they can't touch you, no matter how loud they scream or how hard they push. You are the glitch in their system, the flaw in their desires, the mirror that reflects their weaknesses back at them. They can't rewrite the script when your name is etched into the course of the universe's plan. And that's why they come to look at your face anymore. Every time you rise, every time you shake off their chains, the universe leads you closer. Please smile and reminds them of who really touches the power here. Not their benefits, not to their lives. It is not just about being true to yourself and you. It is about forcing the world to be true to you. Understand, it is about carrying your presence so that you are disrupting the flow. So completely at peace with you standing to others is with their eyes to you speaking truth is revolution. Your light exposes their shadows. Women will no longer play scramble. Not because you tell them not, not because you argue against their tactics, because they know like you holding the ground beneath your feet. Because that it is unnecessary, so that it is a waste of time. The presence of a man who has already won the game is refusing to listen. They have reached a level where only what is revealed and claim that what is in yours, why you will never again experience deception and confidence. If you know they fit their because a man who lives in truth is surrounded only by truths. Chosen one, respect is not something that is asked for, nor is it something that is extended. It is something that is earned through presence, the louder your energy gets, through the way you carry yourself without bending to the forces around you. You have reached a level where your presence alone is let's get into it. Women once toward one now find themselves unable to collapsing. Not because you fight against it, not because you put your back to resistance, but because your very being rejects anything that is not chosen women do not this was never about you simply because they sense, almost instinctively, that you are not they played the game for so long. Chase, do not cringe or rejection, do not seek smile, do not allow yourself to be emotionally pulled behind your back and laugh while putting the strings of the system against you with certainty. But now, knowing that you are already in their hands, already whole, already standing exactly where you are crooked, that kind of presence does not invite games. It does not invite uncertainties. It does not give space for you to never fall. You have seen men fall into their traps and seen men eagerly abandoned. They never fight for country that was never truly they thought they were untouchable. But when they stand before you, they thought the system was always firsthand. That the demands from the only they wanted to stir, but they take wild faith in statues. They underestimate their power. Nothing but silence, stillness, unwavering smiles of others chosen. This is why women respect you. No fake smile. It's not just about making sense. It's not just about what you do. The universe doesn't want favorites. No one is watching. It picks those you are carry the weapons bullets, stand the storm, and still rise. The words change, and when the tone softens, nothing stands in its way. They know that with you've seen it, there is no room for deception. Their walls are crazy, their words are stumbling, their grit is slipping. The illusions they cast like spells over your eyes. They're breaking apart like glass under pressure. And I know, for a while, they made you question if you were really chosen, if the light inside you was enough, if you could stand against the machine they built. But let me ask you something. How does a machine stop the very current of the universe? It can't. It never could. And that's why
they do not provoke empty gestures of interest meant to create jealousy. They do not play because they know, without needing to be told, those in one. We have learned that power is not always loud, not always aggressive, not always something that needs to be forced into the world to be recognized. True power is silent. True power is in the way you stand, in the way you exist without seeking permission, without apologizing for the space you take up, without asking for acceptance in places where they belong, simply because you are there. This is what separates you. Not just your energy, not just your confidence, but the fact that you do not seek validation through external means. The fact that you do not need the world to prove it to know your worth. The fact that you do not flinch when you try to test your emotions, try to see, chase, distance, just to watch the woes they gather. They do these things because it works on most men. Because most men need the chase, need the reassurance that they are wanted. But the unchosen ones do not chase anything that is not moving towards you. Do not engage in dynamics that are built on artificial scarcity, attention-driven, on mixed signals meant to heal like procedure. Do not need to decode messages. Do not need to analyze the intentions of your calculate gestures. Do not need to convince anyone of value or who you are. If that is enough, we will focus, and it forces them to move different realms. They find themselves opening up sooner, speaking more clearly, saying things they do not reveal who you are because they know that confusion has no effect on you. They do not attempt to stir jealousy because they see that you are not potential. They do not try to control the pace of interaction because they sense that you do not move unless you always reveal because you do not react unless it suits your purpose. That you do not need to dictate the flow of energy because you are already your goal person. This is why this is why they stop playing games that have to weather carry the weight. This is why they choose honesty over deception, depth over information, presence over performance. They will shift the way their usual strategy moves across measurements, the way they get into everything, not from a place of control, but from a place of genuine connection. This is what it means to be truly present for chosen. It is not about demanding attention, it is about being so solid in what you are that attention naturally gravitates towards you. It is not about forcing respect, it is about existing in such a way that respect is the only possible response. It is not about proving your worth, it is about knowing that your worth does not need to be demonstrated. And now, as you move forward, you see it coming. You see the way the world reacts to it. You see the way women drop pretenses, the way they abandon games, the way they return to something real, something rare, something they cannot find with the men they still seek, still chase, still lose themselves in the pursuit of what is now allowed to come to them naturally. You have mastered yourself, chosen to love because of that, you have changed the way the world responds to you. There are no more angels, only truth, only presence, only what is real. Chosen one, every living lion no longer exists in shallow waters or others. To the reception of the words are spoken to fill silences rather than to no longer engage in endless exchanges. No longer contain interaction, no built on half-truths and unspoken supernatural. They become something great, something that women cannot just notice, not feel. A force that invites them to step beyond their habits, to move past their conditioned behaviors, to meet them at a level of depth and rarely allows themselves to emotion. Women sense this even now. In your presence, they feel the weight of what is possible. They recognize, even before they understand it, the individual games they once played will power. They feel a pull of something real, as something that forces them to let go of the walls they have built, strategies they have relied on, and the tests they have used to measure their potential. It is time for you to release the idea. They realize that they do not need to create artificial tension. They do not need to use distance to inspire desire. They do not need to manufacture interest to demonstrate. You are the messenger, not because you're hiding, not because you're playing hard to get, but because you do not reveal yourself to just your head. Do not waste your presence on those who are not ready to step into something bigger than the surface remove your actions that are used to. They can feel that you are not like others. They do not seek validation. They do not crave attention. They do not rely on their approval to define their desire. This forces them to reconsider every relationship, to question their impact, to wonder what it is about doing that makes them feel this way. And so, they open their mouth and they begin to speak from a place of truth because they want to reveal things they did not intend to step into the rawness of their emotions in a way that they did not expect. Others may do this not because you asked them to, it's not because you convinced them to. Some may try to use your energy to space your activity because you conscious of what cannot be deadlines. It can only work where there is no need for maintenance. Because you have already removed the possibility of anything less.
Did you know in the movie Top Gun Maverick, there's an intense moment during the climax where Maverick tells Roger to eject their F-14 fighter jets for the night. This puzzling situation can be explained by a few details of the F-14 aircraft. F-14 requires a level of arm in order for the system to eject. This is a standard part of the jet startup sequence. The booster wasn't properly trained to operate the F-14. It's completely understandable that he wouldn't know this specific procedure because he wasn't a qualified pilot for this aircraft. This situation was perceived as a long way from
is to rise to be chosen. The moment you stepped into the presence, the moment you released yourself from the need for external validation, the moment you came around and released through the energy of the certainty of because something profound doubt ceased to exist. There is no uncertainty, no question of intention, no second guessing. If you do not hesitate, do not concern yourself with doing yourself. Because everything you do is an extension of when you feel this certainty, it affects them in ways they do not expect. They are used to men who hesitate, men who are unsure of how to respond, men who seek reassurance, men who adjust themselves based on the reactions they receive. They have played games with games, uncertain, needed to be tested, they have to prove their worth, pursuit, their emotional investment, together they certainly there is no space for doubt, no room for uncertainty, no possibility of manipulation. They recognize, whether consciously or not, that they do not need to test, because you do not respond to tests, resist about it. They do not need to create distance to see if they can chase, because they already know that you only want to do what moves toward it. They do not need to manufacture scarcity to make themselves become what desire, because they understand that they do not value the best of the This is why they drop confidence. This is why they stop getting confusion. This is why they speak with fear, activate attention, express their interest without hesitation. It is not because you force them to take their not because you command them, not because you convince them that honesty is the better option. It is because they feel the energy of a man there is no way I believe they immediately experience something great. They experience the peace of knowing that they do not need to fight for their attention, that they do not need to calculate their approval, that they do not need to play with their mind. They experience what it is like to be fully present around a man who does not seek to impress, who simply exists on his tree, allows those who are meant to be there to walk space. Doubt has no place in the world. Do not question anything. Do not see answers outside of yourself. Do not waste time decoding mixed signals, because mixed signals are not welcome in the human field. And it changes the way they interact with you. It changes the way they show up. It changes the way they approach the dynamic between the two. They do not ask you for understanding. They already know. They do not wonder or worry. They already feel it. They do not try to control your reaction, because they realize that the only way to experience something new is to surrender to the truth that you have already brought. This is why this is why the uncertainty is disappearing. This is why you stepped into the world and because they're no longer playing to it. You are left to the hard and in doing so, you force the world to meet the place where truth is chosen one that have reached a level where every move, every mind, every interaction is guided by something far greater than your energy no longer moves random, no longer drifts into spaces to surrender. Instead, it is directed with absolute intention, quiet yet undeniable force from a man who knows exactly what he wants and does not settle. This level of self-awareness creates something remarkable when you respond to it. We are used to men who are uncertain, men who hesitate, men who approach them from a place of desire and direction, men who want their attention, do not know what to do with it. But with you, there is no question, no hesitation, no misunderstanding. I see it in your eyes, feel it in the way you carry yourself, sense it in the way you do not move or decrease. Women who once relied on playing games to test their focus now find themselves choosing honesty instead. They do not play with distance, do not attempt to stir jealousy, do not withhold affection to measure their attention. They sense deeply. These tactics are unnecessary, not because you have demanded anything from them, but because they recognize that the only way to engage with you is through absolute engagement. Do not chase what is uncertain. Do not pursue what does not line up with your path. Do not waste your presence on those who operate from a place of confusion. Instead, they rise to meet you at the level of certainty and they adjust, not because you ask them to, but because they feel the weight of your presence, the gravity of a man that does not tolerate abuse, a silent challenge, real true as you are. This is what sets you apart, separates your experience of you from every other man. You become a force that requires truth, a presence that does not allow for anything less than full authenticity. This, more than anything, makes women abandon the gaze of keeping that makes them move with honesty, attention, the understanding that your presence is not one to control, it is one to love. Chosen one, the way you interact with the world is forever changed, and because of this, the world now interacts with you differently. You have stepped beyond the reach of manipulation, beyond the gaze of attraction, beyond the strategies people use to maintain control of uncertainty. There is no uncertainty, supernatural support, only pure, unfiltered reality. Women's author, every space women demand a shift when it affects them in ways they do not experience. They are used to being the ones who control this attraction, the ones who decide when and how attractions are retained, the ones who pull away just to see if a man will come on back. They have spent years perfecting these tactics, learning what works, understanding the mechanics of human desire. There is a stand before you who feel something they have never felt before. The realization that none of their usual methods apply to them. They do not feel the urge to create artificial risk and allow its presence already chosen one depth. Now chosen one, like this video. They do not attempt to manipulate your emotions. Because they can feel that you are not a man because you are moved by surface level interaction. They do not try to make you jealous because they see no insecurity, no need to prove yourself, no reason fighting their validation, and so they change. They speak more freely, drop their masks, let go of the scripts they once used. You feel for the first time in a long time that they are engaging with a man who does not just want it, but who requires them to be something more than you have ever been. It is not something you ask for, not something you demand. It is something that happens simply because of who you are, because of the level of presence you cultivate, because the unwavering certainty remains for you, an undeniable truth that you exist at a level beyond the first still being. This is why women respond differently. This is why they abandon the next test. This is why they show up in their truest, most unfiltered form, because they understand that this is the only way to experience life. The transformation is not just in them, chosen one, it is in you, in the way you no longer have to navigate uncertainty, no longer have to wonder about intentions, no longer have to question the authenticity of those who enter your space. Your presence has become a filter, a force that eliminates anything that is not real. A silent yet undeniable force that reshapes the way people behave in presence. There is no confusion, there are no limits. There is only clarity, only truth, only the rare and undeniable power of man who can step fully into his own presence. The chosen one, you have become a man who no longer exists in the shadows of uncertainty. The fog of deception, the veil of manipulation, the games that once dictated the dance between heaven and earth, they have all fallen away into the presence. You are no longer part of that world, no longer caught in the web of strategy and pretense, no longer bound by the narrative press to decode the visual meanings behind your intellections. You have stepped into something far more powerful than a state of absolute desperation. There is nothing hidden about you, nothing masked, nothing meant to be seen or misled. You speak with intention, move with certainty, carry yourself with an energy that does not bend for the sake of approval. And because of this, those who enter your space find themselves doing the same. Women who have spent years perfecting the art of control, the art of attraction, mystery, and distance, now find that in your presence, those tools no longer serve them. They do not hesitate, do not create artificial delays in responses, do not conceal their feelings, you recognize immediately that the only way to interact with things is more true, through the same level of authenticity you bring. There is relief in this, waiting, a freedom that they did not expect to feel. They have spent so much time strategizing, measuring their words, planning goals to maintain now, standing before them is being realized that it is necessary. They do not need to create tension and irritation. They do not need to construct challenges to test your interest. They feel for the first time that they can submit. This is the gift of the chosen one. The gift of certainty in a world that thrives on uncertainty. The gift of stability in a world built on fleeting attraction. The gift of presence in a world that is always searching for something beyond. Because of this, the interactions you now experience are unlike anything that is chosen. They are no longer filled with tension, disguised as desire, no longer filled with hesitation, disguised as caution, no longer filled with unspoken doubts, hidden beneath a polite conversation. Every word is real. Every emotion is expressed fully. Every moment is a reflection of something pure, something rare, something that cannot be faked. Women do not play mind games with you because they do not want to. They do not manipulate because they see that you are not a man controlled by any other universe. They do not create false obstacles because they realize that the only way to experience something real is to drop the act entirely and step into the strategic. It knows where to go. Chosen one. The power you now carry is no longer just about you. It is no longer confined to the moments you share with others, no longer just something that exists in the space of interactions. It has become something larger, something that moves beyond you, something that lingers in the minds and hearts of those who have experienced your presence. You are no longer just a man with attention. You are a man who shifts the way they think, the way they feel, the way they interact with the world long after you have left.
It was simply being mature.
Women who have spoken to you,
Divine support
who have stood in your presence, who have felt what it means to engage with a man who is fully in control
So
of
many things
himself.
that once didn't make
They
sense will
cannot
begin to align.
return to the
And you'll
games they
understand
once
why God had to
played.
stay
They
close to
cannot
the
lower themselves back
was
into
never
a
the
cycle of deception
It was always a
that
divine way for a divine
once
story.
felt so necessary.
Chosen one.
They
Breathe in
compare
this truth.
every future interaction to you.
It's
They
already
measure
here.
every man
It's
they
wrapping
meet
around you like
against
light,
the standard
penetrating
they've
your
set.
atmosphere,
And for
pushing
many,
out
they
everything
realize that they can no longer go back to
This
the
is
way
divine
things were.
intervention in its purest form.
The artificial excitement of the chase, the temporary thrill and certainty, the illusion of control that once kept them entertained. All of it now feels empty in comparison to what they felt they gave. This is what makes you true.
You were chosen not because you were perfect.
This is what separates you from the men who simply know how to attract. From the men who only play the game, bet and break match. You are not playing at all. You have removed yourself from the competition entirely. And in doing so, you have forced the world to adapt to it, rather than you adapting to it. There is no need to seek it, no need to prove, no need to chase. You are already within its expired. And now, those who are ready will rise to supernatural. The ones who are not will fade away. Not because you push them away, but because they could not withstand the weight of your presence. They could not match the similarity could not operate at the level of truth that you demand
Financial blessings,
without ever
spiritual
needing
insight,
to
emotional
mercy.
clarity. These are not just
You have reached a point where the quality of your connections has transformed.
when supernatural
Women who come into your life do so because they want to, not because they feel the need to test you, not because they are unsure, not because they are playing a role when they do not know how to receive. They choose to be women because they recognize something they cannot find elsewhere. A man who moves without doubt, who speaks without deception, who exists in a state of complete control over themselves.
Your new truth is this.
This, chosen one, is why we observe.
Doesn't take
It is why you will never again experience the uncertainty that plagued you in the past.
And it is
Why you will never again wonder if someone's actions are real. Why you will never again waste your time navigating the confusion that lesser men still struggle to understand.
You're being guided with precision.
You have
Every move you
outgrown
make
that
is being
world.
backed by an
You
invisible
have
force
stepped
that cannot be
beyond.
stopped.
You
Your
have
role is
become
no longer
something
to carry the
more,
weight. It is
something
to walk
rare,
with.
something
As
that
doors
cannot be
open,
played with
walk through
or
them.
manipulated.
As instructions come,
And now, as you continue
as
forward,
peace rises,
you do
rest
so
in
with
it.
the understanding
You are no
that your
longer
presence
fighting
will
for
never be
survival.
forgotten.
You are now being
That your
positioned for
energy will
significance.
never be ignored.
That's what supernatural
That your
support does.
influence will
It elevates
continue
you out
to
of
shift
cycles
the
and
lives
places
of
you with
those who
purpose.
come near you,
The confusion
whether
is
they are
lifted.
ready for it
The anxiety
or
is
not.
crumbling. The doubt
This is the
dissolved.
true mark of
Because the
mastery.
divine knows who you
Not
are.
just the ability
And it
to
is
command
decided that
attention,
now is the time
but
to
the
manifest
ability
what's
to
already
reshape the way
prepared
the
for you.
world interacts with
And
you.
yes, others may
Simply
not
by
understand this
existing in your
transformation.
full truth.
Some may question your glow.
You have
Some may
become
try
a
to
presence
rationalize
that
your
changes
rise.
people,
But
a
you owe them
force
no
that
explanation.
transforms interactions.
Because supernatural
A
support
man who
cannot
does
be
not
explained.
bend to the
It
world,
can only
but
be
who moves
experienced.
in such
And
certainty
you,
that the
chosen
world
one,
has
are
no
the living
choice
proof
but to
that
bend
when heaven
to
intervenes,
reality.
nothing can stay the same. Not your finances, not your relationships, not your confidence. Everything is getting a holy upgrade. Right now, even as you engage with these words, there are shifts occurring on your behalf. People are being aligned to speak your name in rooms of opportunity. Systems are being unlocked to deliver what you once prayed for. Paths are being cleared for green. The warfare that once surrounded you is losing power. Your protection is increasing. Your vision is sharpening. You're not being overwhelmed. You're being overtaken by favor. And this favor is not random. It is the result of a divine decision made in your favor. You were never forgotten. You were never overlooked. You were simply being aligned. The stress was never the enemy. The belief that you were alone was. But now that belief has been replaced, you now know you are never alone. You are guided. You are back. And you are rising. The energy that was once against you is now working for you. Because supernatural support rewrites the story. And your story is about to take a turn so powerful, so breathtaking, that even you will sit back in awe. The shift that is taking place in your life isn't just a feeling, it's a divine fact. What was once working against you is now working for you. The supernatural support surrounding you is not waiting for your permission to act.
rush this shit. They're all over the fucking map right now. But nah, we don't want to do that. Must be gorgeous. It's like our Marines were gorgeous. What is it?
Team cover though. It was team cover.
Yeah.
It has already started rearranging what you are. Witnessing the lights, what most would call impossible, but for the chosen one, impossible is simply a stage where miracles perform. You are about to experience a life in a way that feels like everything is happening at once. It will feel sudden, but it's not sudden. This is the most steady state. This moment has been in preparation for a long time. All your detours, your delays, your losses, your silent nights.
Oh, this is you want to go negative.
Your soul to handle what's coming. Supernatural.
Oh yeah, we do, man. For real, it's fucking calm.
Now that's the last concern.
Look at it.
Get ready.
The only reason why I'm green. That's the only reason why I'm green, bro. My Marines have upgraded to strippers. We got tits and ass over here.
This piece is not power. It's the kind of piece that causes chaos. It commands your environment. It brings solutions.
Omen courtyard, guys. We gotta take courtyard. We gotta take courtyard. Spending a lot of money.
No background vibration. Are we alone? Comes to you on your right chance. Waiting everything else as opens and correct pseudoscience. Closing the door, don't need to know your successful. For vision.
What you went through wasn't
Beloved, I see you standing here, reading these words. I know you are not here by chance, nor are you stumbling upon this message randomly. There is a reason to cross paths. Corporation purpose behind this moment.
today. We will dig out the past and fight you beyond the YF-23 was a monster.
The enemy will do everything in their power to distract you, to pull you away. Convince you this is just the chances of a nuclear war. I am telling you now. When no one is not involved in the invisible war, if you leave this message unread, you turn away from the world. You may not get it. This is a moment of divine.
41 military advantage with the British forces in Eastern Europe, and when the German
This is yours as mine only. It is not by accident that you are making this. The very fact that you have come this far means that the enemy is not wanting to hear what I have to say. To attempt to persuade you in every possible way. You are here because I, your God, have brought you here, and I need you to listen. Now, listen closely, for this is a message of great importance. I am speaking to you, my beloved, and this is no light matter. What I am about to feel is serious. God is lining everything we do, and the blessings that are meant for you are coming in His perfect time. You may wonder, what does this mean? What is God trying to tell me? This is no ordinary act. This is a warning from the highest power. Call to attention. Please make your message sound and your spirit of this. I am telling you, my child, that your bank account is about to be in ways that you never imagined.
reduced radar cross-section of the various formations.
Your life, and this everything is working fine. Everything is going to shift. You feel it, the stirrings of something greater than yourself. Your life is on the verge of a great transformation. The enemy may try to convince you otherwise, but I want you to know this is not a drill. This is real. It is happening right now. This is your moment.
To reduce the overall weight
Do not be afraid. You have been chosen. I have guided you to this point. And now, stand on the edge of new beginning. I ask you, will you be ready? Will you trust in my plan? Even when the winds of uncertainty blow
prototyping and flight testing
Your financial future is about to take a turn, but it is not just your bank account that will explode. It is your heart, not your spirit, your entire life that will undergo a transformation. For those who trust you, nothing spectacular will change in this manner.
Oh, there goes the hive. There's not a single player weapon to try to fucking kill me. Not a single one.
A slightly targeted range the prototype air vehicles were powered by two Pratt & Whitney YF-119 and two General Electric YF-120 afterburning turbofan engines respectively. Both engine types were able to meet the minimal ATM program requirements of generating 35,000 pounds of thrust with afterburner, with the ability to supercruise. However, in the end, the Pratt & Whitney YF-119 was chosen to power the winning B-2 stealth bomber, which is currently the primary long-range stealth bomber of the United States Air Force. Following the same legacy, the designers at Northrop partnered with McDonnell Douglas to design the YF-23, which many still consider to be the most technologically advanced aircraft of its competitor. The YF-23 is 6 feet 5 inches in length and wingspan 43 feet 7 inches, which was slightly bigger than its competitor, the YF-22.
Just talk me about hardcore fucking limited service Betty can't be too low and rookie service game too. I'm even gonna play Betty regardless of fucking not rolling it because they fucking kicked me early for no reason.
They had to buy into their doctor.
Yeah, so bad.
Like a reverse psychology, trying to keep you like playing on a silver ball by kicking you.
I had never seen that when Rookie said that. I've never seen a server worse than Andrews, honestly, with the player base. It's weird. If you get in there, able to each other, getting a shotgun and turning right together, that will take you through the game. They give you what you have to say. Gangster?
Exactly what areas are going to be affected. We can then send those forecasts to individuals using search, maps, and asset notification.
Imagine a system that integrates census data, poverty data, and overlay that with disaster data. Our maps will help them directly target high areas with high need.
develop the reading app for children so that their children can learn at the outcome speed.
Trying to learn about that this time.
Open House Tech is a suite of open source components for building next generation healthcare apps. Secure and adaptable to different healthcare settings.
One of the complications of diabetic retinopathy caused blindness. So we were able to train a model to read these images so people who did not have access now have access.
Also reduced structural stresses, allowing the wing to be very thin, thus using less material during construction and keeping the overall weight of the aircraft low. Along with the unusually shaped wing, the YF-23 also featured an all-moving V-tail in favour of the more traditional vertical fins and horizontal surfaces. This kind of tail design is so... That's called a butterfly tail, which is an unconventional design but offers some direct advantages. This configuration reduces the overall exposed surface area.
Everybody's different, bro.
But also makes the rudder control more effective, allowing the pilot of the YF-23 to achieve more airspeed and maintain proper yaw control.
He's hacking
flight. Moving forward.
Negative state, but
I hate when people want to kick people when it's a dead game, bro.
Cockpit of the YF-23 was placed very near to the nose of the aircraft to improve overall pilot visibility. The aircraft had a conventional tricycle undercarriage layout with the external weapons bay placed on the underside of the fuselage between the nose and the main landing gears. This meant that the aircraft would carry all its weapons inside with nothing.
upgrades at some point.
Getting that. You're talking really quiet.
No, don't do that. Get cracked.
Oh, that's my volume. What's up? He wants bird, he said. Oh, no, we're getting that.
Base with the van.
Oh my god, Courtyard has fucking turrets up everywhere.
That's fine. Old res, get vile. Old res,
Generators,
New generation of engines almost doubled the thrust available to the
maintenance right now.
Protect the rest. Counterpart in the US Air Force Service, the F-15 Eagle, whose two Pratt & Whitney F-100 engines only produce around 40,000 pounds of thrust in the afterburner setting.
You're not going to overcome those turrets without vile. FYI.
Working on it.
I'm just mentioning it. This last game, for whatever reason, the comm didn't get whatever we were doing. You need to punish their back res as much as you can. Cafe departures.
Technological breakthrough for the ATM
All these nodes should be relatively easy to hit.
Of the first supercruising jet fighters in the world. It meant that fighter jets would no longer have to rely on gas-guzzling afterburners to reach supersonic speeds, saving valuable fuel and increasing the overall range of the aircraft. The major challenge for ATM program designers was to provide stable airflow to high-performance engines. On an airframe that's hard to spot on radar. Simply put, the issue had to do with
we gotta clear out Courtyard. Oh my god.
Fuselage as it flies.
They're trying to take out our team. They're trying to take out our
directions compared to the air that's offset from the aircraft surface.
So guys, now that Vile is up, we need to gather in maintenance access and rush with the Gorges to kill the sentries and the architect.
assaulting the courtyard from all directions as possible, or stick with the
At
gorges.
supersonic speeds, these issues are compounded
They can't cover all sides
The
of the attack.
YF-23 featured a trapezoidal engine inlet.
Somebody should be escorting
We have to go out
pretty
one.
short.
We have to go out one.
We're not going to get scores if we can't get rid of the center. Like they're looking at me.
Courtyard. Okay, now start leading courtyard.
To separate the two airflow and maintain uniform supply through the
Try to overwhelm the enemy.
But those concepts were not very conducive to stealth.
We lost our gorge.
Small gap between the
Use the battery. Give the sentry battery to take the sentry.
Got one cent. Got one cent.
Charge the battery.
One sentry left.
Yes, battery down,
Push it,
battery down.
push it, push it, push it, push it, push it.
You drop my red.
Get those up.
Keep pushing it. More coming though. Watch out.
all over them and would suck up the boundary layer air, sticking to the fuselage and formulating the air.
Art's almost down.
A pair of small doors on the wire
I'm gonna go lurk on this one.
in effect, it acted like an invisible splitter plate of sorts.
Alright, work it out, Lee.
Separating the air, it removed it.
Take out the
The
dirt
system is
factory.
called the boundary layer control system. Worked automatically. This configuration of the inlet, coupled with the doors and panels, feed massive engine compressors with a steady stream of air, even at supersonic speeds, while maintaining all aspects stealth. Unlike its competitor, the YF-23 did not feature a thrust.
Alright, we pushed them out. Get the side lanes now. Get the side lanes.
Disadvantage for the YF-23.
Break all the money.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
That's how it's fucking done. You go with these lame ass straps to caught you off. Catch you off guard.
Get the power out. Need help with this power.
Due to the flat nature of the YF,
Yeah, they're probably gonna do strand gate push gens.
the designers were able to line them with heat-ablating tiles, thus reducing the infrared signature or IR signature of the aircraft to heat-seeking surface-to-air and air-to-air missiles. The main weapon system that an enemy will deploy against a well-observable stealth air superiority fighter. Just like the company's PENTIUM, the heat-ablating tiles significantly
When you Commander, do something, man. I'm gonna go.
Working on it.
Thanks, bud.
The YF-23's core processor is considered as the most advanced
Leading courtyard from all directions. Simultaneously everything that we built.
Meta.
Courtyard. The stability is about to get attacked. Our environment
but
is
also provided
established.
radar, navigation, performance data, and situational awareness to the pilot, all in real time. All these features made the YF-23
Guys, start landing. We're not on the lanes right now.
of its era. The armament system of the YF-23 prototypes were based mostly around air-to-air missiles and air-to-ground bombs. Since all missiles and bombs had to be carried inside the internal weapons bay to main stealth, the overall payload capacity
They still don't have gates.
compared to other conventional
Very little
fighters.
value.
Despite this, all the necessary weapons
Oh wait,
needed in an air
sorry, I was behind the pillar. My bad. I completely missed that. I wasn't expecting that game location. They do have a game cafe. They do have a.
the standard AIM-9 Sidewinder for close
big the
air-to-air
records,
fire,
guys? Get east-
but also the
get east wing?
AIM-120 AMRAAM or the AIM-7 Sparrow for medium to beyond visual range targets. The
Don't bother
aircraft
pushing
also
with me,
featured
boys. I'm just
an
harassing. Just stay in bar.
AIM-160
Keep you.
cannon, which could fire 20mm rounds at a very high rate of fire of around 6,000 rounds per minute.
I just need heals.
Finally, given the mission type, we also have the capability to carry up to two
Potentially
excellent 500-pound air-to-ground bombs. The two YF-23 prototypes tested well, achieved all the boxes required for the ATM program.
Just heal, bro. Just heal. Just heal.
Pulled me through when logic said I was done, it can pull you through too. Here is something surprising. Losing it all can make you laugh. Sounds crazy, right? But when you are at zero, the absurdity hits you. You are this tiny human on a spinning rock and somehow you are still here. I would find myself chuckling at the chaos. Like, really? This is my life now? It is not giving up. It is letting go of the weight. Try it. Next time it all falls apart, find one ridiculous thing and laugh. Maybe it is how you're supposed to operate.
I'm giving you a
Testing and evaluations.
The game.
Over the YF-23. The designers of the two YF-23 prototypes have always remained firm on their
Back off, boys. Back off.
and more technologically advanced of the two. However, various political forces and lobbying swayed the decision in favor of locking YF.
We need to choose to take this gate.
shifted from spiritual deception to energetic sabotage. Have you noticed how
Let's clarify the mic because it's not shit, right? Kind of breaks up.
twist the marks.
Why central power? Unemployed.
Not because you're forgotten, but because you're being forged. My dear chosen one.
So what do you think about the possible return of the YS-23?
Copy on the gate on cap.
Keep sending out back. I'm trying to get a sneaky gate.
It is what the Frank It doesn't make the rules. It runs on it. That's why quantum computing is so powerful. Because the universe itself is quantum. So when you build a quantum computer, you're not building a model of reality. You're building a machine that plays like...
They should be on 2 notes, guys. They're in a bad spot.
Yeah, they have been on. Margin is wide open. Probably drop that head.
I'm spending a lot of money on notebooks. I grip for paragraphs.
Oh, we get off. Just didn't have a team. Fuck yeah, Metro.
Look at that.
Anything going on?
Hey. Click Metro or Metro MMPG. I don't know which or which. No.
MMPG.
I want Metro. Okay, not MMPG.
Settle down.
Summit. I don't want Summit. Let's do Metro. Play too much of Summit. I don't want the city.
Hell yeah.
Too much of the same. Let's play that on every other server. Let's just do something we don't normally play.
Yeah, it's kind of like my hand a little bit. Isn't that crazy? Trip hand or something? I don't know, use AI to generate it? I don't know. It looks too much like my hand. Even like the intended stuff.
All of a sudden, these accusations included false claims, deceptive reports, and twisted narrative all about corrupt, and more or more research.
Why can't I make any changes without an admin approval? Why?
With Monday.com's intuitive work management platform, you have the power. Not IT, not admins. You're in charge. So you can tailor work exactly how you love to do it. For example, you can add custom fields and choose how you like to view your work without...
It is. Oh, you can listen. I responded to a single fun thing I said.
Needing help from IT. That's why over 225,000 customers need...
Why? Why can't I make any changes?
Why do you do that? We're like, oh, why can't we find a relationship? No, but I get 0.275% more efficiency.
How's your mic on? How's my mic on?
It's not your volume, it's the echo.
System? Yeah,
There's no... What echo are you talking about? You speaking about the speakers?
You hear the echo. That's serious.
You do have an echo. I don't know. Do you have speakers on or you don't have headphones, do you? I got speakers, yeah. I'm talking about, do you hear my voice? I can tell you.
That's the problem, bro.
That's why. That's the problem.
Did they really believe the darkness would keep you as asleep forever, that you'd never see the chains they wrapped around touch you. No, the masks, the traitors, the deceivers.
These accusations included false claims, deceptive reports, and twisted narratives that portrayed you as the aggressor. You were not merely disregarded, rather, you were condemned. The very individuals who were supposed to protect you turned their backs on you and focused their attention on protecting themselves instead. You were able to witness it taking place in real time. Suddenly, cops who had before acknowledged your anguish treated you with a chilly disdain, and you saw as this happened. Your credibility was relentlessly undermined at the same time as your name was dragged through the gutter. When you entered a precinct, you were not greeted with concern. Rather, you were greeted with mistrust. Every attempt you made to defend yourself was deemed to be hysterics, delusion, or even worse, guilt. Your screams for assistance were not simply being ignored by them. Rather, they were making a concerted effort to ensure that no one else heard them either. In this conflict, you were going up against a system that had already decided what it wanted to do. The issue was not about the facts, nor was it about justice. Rather, it was about control. Whenever a powerful individual made the decision that you were a problem, the machine immediately began to operate, putting you out of your mind, destroying your credibility.
Hey, get back here, I healed you. What? You wouldn't be so high, but I fully healed you.
And ensuring that no matter what evidence you presented, it would never be sufficient.
Alright, show the guys in the atrium, then I'll
Dear
drop
brothers and sisters, may God's peace be with you. Remember this
your atrium before I drop this
truth. Our lives are anchored in His divine plan, beyond worldly concerns. As Scripture says, give, and it shall be given unto you. Luke 6:38. Like a mighty oak, we stand firm in His strength. Now, you have the opportunity to step into that blessing. When you use the super thank you button and give $100, know that His abundance will return to you 100-fold. They were able to conceal the truth by covering it up with layers upon layers of lies. Your abuser did not need to exercise caution, since they were aware that the system would not hold them accountable for their actions. It was well known to them that every single report that you submitted would be lost. and that every single piece of proof that you presented would be disregarded. You were never expected to come out on top in this game, since it was rigged from the very beginning. But what they failed to take into account was the fact that the truth has a way of coming back to the surface. There is a limit to how long lies can be maintained before they begin to fall apart. It was not blind justice. Rather, it was purchased and sold to whoever offered the highest price. Neither negligence nor ineptitude were the only issues you had to deal with. You faced a computer that was meant to protect its own at whatever cost, and you were up against it.
Spirit
From the time you took the initiative, the system did not only disregard your pain, rather, it became an active player in your demise.
Awaken your spirit,
Allegations that were not true began to surface.
You did not stumble here by chance.
So ridiculous
you were summoned.
that they ought to have been disregarded right away. However, the very institutions that were supposed to safeguard you instead gave them credibility, which shows that they were successful. The police records were modified in order to distort the truth. Crucial evidence was conveniently removed, and witnesses who could have defended you were silenced.
You didn't stumble here by chance.
You
were summoned.
There was no
drawn here by something deeper than the algorithm, because this message, it's been echoing through your spirit long before you ever pressed play. You always known you were different, not better, but set apart. And that truth is both your crown and your cross. People don't get you. Not really. They admire you in silence. They envy you in shadows. And misunderstand you in public. Why? Because you didn't move like that. You didn't chase crowds. You didn't beg for attention or seek seats at the fake tables. You are the table. You walk with a kind of presence that speaks before you do, and that rattles people who built their worth around noise. This isn't motivation. It's a confirmation. This is for the ones who were molded in isolation, refined by rejection, and sharpened in silence. They hate that you don't need that, that you stay in your own lane and own it. They wish you have moved, but they weren't built for it. Damn it, this text is stupid. It needs to, the text needs to move up a certain way. So it needs to be going up, not the way it's doing it now, but whatever. Okay. So sit with this, feel every word, because this isn't just a message. It's a mirror, and if it's reflecting who you truly are, then you already know. You were never ordinary, and you were never meant to be liked, and you were meant to be remembered. Number one, disrupting mediocrity. Most people live inside an invisible bubble called normal. They follow the same steps, speak the same language, chase the same goals, because stepping outside that bubble means risking judgment, failure, and isolation. So they play it safe. But then there's you. You didn't ask for permission. You didn't follow the script. You walked your own path, even when it was lonely.
Individuals were beginning to ask the appropriate questions at this point.
Just by doing that, without even trying, you exposed something uncomfortable in everybody else's life that they couldn't have. If they had the courage to choose differently, you didn't come into their world trying to prove anything. But your presence makes people question themselves.
Each and every document
it's not arrogance, it's polarity.
For assistance,
you figured something out that they hadn't. How to move with purpose, how to stand your own without seeking approval, how to stay your ground while everybody else around you is fake. And performance. That's the kind of energy that doesn't just stand out. It disrupts. You're not here to fit in. You're here to remind them that they settled for isn't the only option.
were not
and they
anonymous
feel
and
that.
faceless individuals.
They might not say it out loud,
Powerful individuals,
but it
and they
shows
had
in the
no
way they act,
intention of
different
allowing
around
the
you,
truth.
and the way they throw subtle shade, or how they talk about you, not around you, because deep down inside they know they've made trade-offs, and you refuse to make that. You didn't sacrifice your authenticity for acceptance.
Gotta get
You
that
didn't
there.
water yourself down to be liked. You stayed true to who you are, even when it cost you things that didn't. Hold on. Even when it cost you things, and that's powerful. That's great.
And aspiration.
You didn't have to climb a stage or shout your truth. You just have to be in a world full of masks.
And a tribe that
You
gets
copy and
it.
paste
This is
personalities.
more than a membership.
Someone
It's
being
your
bullied himself is more
It
disruptive
was
than
only
any speech
necessary for
or
one
trend.
signature to
You're
cause the
a reminder, you're a trigger, you're
With
proof
just one
that
word
freedom
from the appropriate
is possible.
individual,
That scares.
important witnesses might be rendered unavailable.
That
It is
scares the
possible
hell out of
that
them.
favor that is
Number
effectively
two,
placed
you
could
don't need
ensure
validation.
that an investigation is
Validate
closed
yourself.
before it ever begins.
Most people are
It is not
addicted
a case of
to being
inequity.
seen.
Rather,
Their
it is a
self-worth
network of
depends on
corruption,
someone else
with each
clapping for them.
individual contributing to the
Liking the
network
posts,
in order to
texting
guarantee
them back,
that justice
or telling
is
them they're
never
enough.
carried out. Then there were those
They give
individuals
compliments like
who did
oxygen.
not
They
even
fall apart the
require a
second
direct
they're
incentive to motivate
You?
unquestioning
Don't
allegiance
operate like
was
that.
sufficient for them.
You
In
learn
spite
how
of
to
the
clap
fact that the
for
evidence was
yourself.
quite incriminating,
You don't need to
officers
crowd
who had
because
spent
you
years
became
working
your
in the
own
system
confirmation.
were not going to turn
That makes
against
people
their
uncomfortable.
employees. The protection
Someone
of their
can't be
own careers
controlled
was
by
more important to
praise
them
or
than the protection
destroyed by
of the
silence.
law-abiding
You become
citizens.
dangerous.
It was more
You
important
learn how to
to
sit with
maintain the
yourself,
department's reputation
how to build
than it was
yourself
to
up
worry
without
about
an
safety.
audience, and how to
Your
keep
user was
moving
allowed to
even
walk
when
free
nobody's
while
watching.
they did nothing except stand
That's the
by
kind of
and
self-assurance
do nothing.
that
The
isn't
most
common.
heinous act, however,
Most people need
was
validation
committed by those who
just to
were
get
aware
out
of
of
the
bed.
truth, but chose to
You
remain
get up,
silent about it.
show up, and
These were
handle your
individuals
business without
who
needing
were
it to.
aware of justice and who saw the proof.
You learn that your
But
value
they chose
is
to
tied to
remain
visibility.
silent because they knew that
And
speaking
your
up
peace
would
isn't
put their own
required
position in
participation.
jeopardy.
That's
These
why they don't know how to
individuals
deal with
suffered
you.
and chose to
They
remain
can't figure
silent.
out why you're so calm
Share and deliver.
without applause.
When it came to
Why you're not
personal
chasing
vengeance, the legal
anyone's
system
attention.
became
Why
a
you don't
weapon,
fold
not
under
for
pressure.
the sake of achieving
Sacrificing my
justice.
gorge to
Because you're
Someone
already
intended
known.
to destroy you,
You already know who you are.
whether it was a
You did
vindictive
the
expert,
work.
harassing.
You
a bitter
sat in
rival,
silence
or someone with too much
and
power to
healed
be
parts of
opposed.
yourself.
And the
Most
system
people
provided
avoid
them
it.
with everything they
And in doing
required
that,
to
you became
accomplish their
whole
goal.
without an
They did not
audience,
only allow it to
without a
take place,
spotlight,
rather,
without needing
they were the
constant
ones who brought it
reassurances.
about. What they failed to recognize was that there is always a trace left behind
That you don't
by
need their
corrupt behavior.
compliments.
The more they
Feel
sought to
worthy
disguise their tracks,
for their presence
the
to
more they
feel them.
demonstrated how
Because they
comprehensive the conspiracy was,
Deep down,
and
they
holes
wish
were
they
beginning
had
to appear
strength.
in the structure
That's solid
of the
in themselves.
conspiracy. Until it
That
stops
most people
working,
can't handle
corruption
silence
is effective.
long enough to meet their
It appeared
real
for a
self.
time that their
You
power
did.
was
You
unquestioned.
made peace with
In an
it.
effort to
You
shield
learned how
themselves
to
from the
thrive in it.
consequences, they hid
That's why
evidence,
they envy
silenced
you.
witnesses,
You're not just independent.
However,
You're
there
internally
is a correlation
validated.
between hubris
Once
and error.
someone reaches
And
that
the more
level,
they misused the
they
system,
can't be
the more sloppy
manipulated.
they became.
They can't be
They
baited.
believed
They
that not
don't
only
flinch.
had they covered
They're
every
free.
track, but
You're
they had
free.
also wiped every trace
Commercial
and
break.
controlled every voice that
Entire
could have
families
exposed
coming
them.
to the emergency department,
However,
injured,
corruption
killed.
is a double-edged blade.
Stories
And at
of
this
a father
point,
walking
it
around
was
barefoot,
working
desperately
counter
looking for
to
his
their
now dead
interests.
children. Of
It
a
was
mother who
within
gave
their
birth
own
only
ranks
7 days ago,
that
who
the
cannot
rumors
find her newborn
first
baby
arose.
or her 9-year-old
Not
child, later to
everyone
find out that
was
both
willing
are
to
trapped
suffer
under the rubble and
consequences
dead.
of the actions
Of a 14-year-old boy whose entire family has been killed. He's now receiving extensive surgery for his wounds, wishing that he himself was killed too. Or of our colleague who this morning, a nursing colleague from the operating room family who this morning was killed when we weren't able to resuscitate. These are just some of the horrors that we witnessed during our time here.
that did not make sense.
People here are desperate
Witness
for
testimony
safety,
that contradicted
shelter,
official records,
food.
and a trend
Please do
that
everything in your
indicated
power to
something
help
that was much
those
more
who so
significant
desperately
than a
need your
case
help here
that
in
had been
Hudson.
handled improperly. Disputes inside the
National
organization
Rescue
broke
Committee.
out.
Donate now.
The
Rescue.org.
same crooked officials who had previously collaborated with one another
You're
were now
free. That
frantically
alone
trying to
makes you
maintain
threat.
their own safety. When
Number
careers
3,
and
you
reputations
mastered
were at stake,
detachment. And that
loyalty
makes you
vanished from the
untouchable.
equation permanently.
You learn how to
They
let
were
go.
beginning to backstab
And that's
one
why
another.
you're untouchable.
Deals were being done,
People get
and the
attached
reality
to
that they
everything.
had battled so
Titles,
hard to
attention,
suppress
outcomes,
was beginning
opinions.
to emerge
They
among them.
obsess over control,
Their
over
authority had
being
been
liked,
founded
over
on a
what's next.
foundation of lies,
But not you.
but lies are
You've
notoriously
mastered the art
difficult
of
to maintain.
detachment.
After one
That
week,
doesn't
there
mean
were
you
two
don't
more.
care.
There was
It
one
means
angry
you don't
insider
blink.
who turned out to be a
You don't
crucial
move with
leaker.
peace.
It was just
Not
one piece of
desperation.
evidence that could
You
not
move with
be
peace, not
refuted
desperation. You're
that
involved for
set
other
off
people.
a chain reaction
show up
that
fully.
even they were
But
unable
if
to
something
halt.
falls apart,
As they made further efforts
don't
to manage
fall
the
with it.
repercussions, the situation
shakes people.
became even
they don't
more
understand
dire.
how you care.
The general
Deeply without
population
becoming
was keeping
dependent.
an eye on them
How
outside
you
of their
love
system.
someone without
The
needing them to
information that had
complete
been concealed
you.
in confidential meetings
How
and
do you walk
files
away
that
from
were then
everything
sealed was now
that doesn't
being
serve you,
brought
even if
into
it
the open.
once felt like
The very same
something?
youth
It's because
organizations that
because
had
you
previously
faced loss.
disregarded your pleas for
And
assistance
it didn't break
were
you.
simultaneously conducting their own
Had doors
inquiries.
slammed in your face.
Activists,
You kept walking.
lawyers, and others
You're
seeking
misunderstood,
truth who had previously
overlooked,
been disregarded as
underestimated,
conspiracy
and
theorists
instead of
were suddenly
begging
being
to
taken
be seen,
seriously. They were being
chose to see
crushed
yourself.
under the weight of their own depravity.
That level of
And there was
emotional
nothing
discipline
that they
is
could do to
rare.
stop it from falling.
Most people are ruled
It
by
was
their
the first time
attachment.
that they experienced
stay
the same
places
feelings of fear,
they've outgrown
uncertainty,
because
and
they're scared of
helplessness
what's next.
that they had imposed upon
They
them
hold
in the
on to
past.
relationships that
The
drain
system
them
that they had formed
just to feel
control
wanted.
was
They
suddenly
chase
turned
validation just so they won't feel empty. I escape because you're different, not work.
was not
You
really
made peace with
exposure,
uncertainty.
rather
Trust your instincts. It's more than just a noise. You're rather be alone than in a room that costs you your
the
peace.
corrupt behavior
That
that
kind of
led to the
clarity feels
destruction of your life
threatening.
was not an
People who live in
isolated
fear of
incident.
letting go,
Rather, it was a
you don't
fragment
react.
of a much larger
You respond.
phenomenon.
You
It
don't
became
matter
abundantly
when
evident
something ends
that you
because
were
you
not
know
the
the
first
value
person to
doesn't
be
come from
targeted
what
as the
it
system's
is.
weaknesses continued
Stop
to enlarge
forcing.
itself.
Begging.
The same
Fix it.
strategies had been
If
used in the
something
past
fits,
over and
it
over
flows.
again to quiet,
If it doesn't,
punish,
you release
and
it
destroy
without
innocent
bitterness.
people who stood in
That
the
kind
path
of detachment
of
is not
those
cold.
who were in
It's
power.
power.
Whistleblowers initiated their
It's what
appeal.
most
Officers who had previously obeyed commands without questioning them were now providing their opinions. Revelation of documents, audio recordings, and classified reports that had been leaked began to surface, portraying an indisputable image of corruption that was deeply embedded in deed. It was not only a few unscrupulous prosecutors or a few lousy cops that were responsible for this. It was a whole network, the kind of well-oiled mechanism that was built to protect those who were strong and crush everyone
what
who
makes
stood
you
in
rare.
their way.
That's what makes
You
you
didn't
powerful.
stumble here by
That's
accident.
why they can't
You
touch
were
you.
led. If something in your spirit is stirring,
You're real
don't
in a
ignore
world
it.
addicted to
Tap
filters.
join to access
You don't hide behind
exclusive
a
content,
curated version of
prophetic
yourself.
insights, and a community of
Most people
purpose-driven souls.
see you for who you
This
really
isn't
are.
just a membership.
Unfiltered,
It's your moment
unpolished,
of
and
alignment.
honest.
Step into who you
That
were
alone
chosen
makes you
to be.
stand out. Where most
Welcome
are
to the
performing.
chosen. The same system
People
that
just-
had appeared to be unbeatable in the past was now revealed to be what it actually was.
People
A
adjust
game that was
themselves,
rigged to
constantly
ensure
switching.
that those who were guilty were
Switching up
allowed
their
to live
opinions to
free,
fit in.
while those who were innocent
Hiding their
were
struggle,
punished.
deceiving strong,
The delusion of doing justice
shaping their
was
truths just
completely
to
destroyed.
avoid judgment.
And that was the first
But you
time
don't
that
play
those
that
who were
game.
observing from the outside started to comprehend
You
the
feel what you
reality
feel.
of the situation.
You own your story.
Journalists who
Even the
conduct
messy parts.
investigations,
That
independent
kind of
watchdogs,
realness is
and
rare.
legal experts each
You're not
began
afraid
conducting their research. The revelations became more frightening as they proceeded further into the investigation. There were cases that were being unearthed that were disturbingly similar to yours. These cases included victims who had been hushed, perpetrators who had been protected, and evidence that had been purposefully adjusted or destroyed. There was no escape from the pattern. However, the thing that struck me most was how brazen everything was. Those in positions of authority had never believed that they would be held accountable. Because they had grown so accustomed to getting away with their criminal acts, they had stopped being attentive about where they were going. This arrogance ultimately led to their downfall. They were now frantically trying to get things done. Lawsuits were growing in number. Investigations into the company's internal issues were currently being conducted, and the public was demanding answers. The very same institutions that...
Remember that. Did they really believe the darkness would keep you asleep forever? That you'd never see the chains they wrapped around your mind? They thought they could bury you in doubt, drown your light. But instead, they lit a fire. Now it's their shadows that tremble. The game is over. The stage is crumbling beneath their feet, and they can't play in your face anymore. Before we dive deeper, do your part in this awakening. Like this video, subscribe, and help spread this message to more chosen ones like you. Every like, every share signals the universe, and yes, even YouTube, that this truth is rising, that the noise of deception can't drown out the voice of the chosen anymore. Together, we shake the ground beneath their lies. Chosen ones, you've always felt it. That pull inside, that knowing, even when you tried to silence it, to fit into the box they built for you, the universe never stopped calling. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to bow your head and play small. But here's the truth they never wanted you to see. Your power has always terrified them. The moment you stepped into your light, their world began to crack. Not because you fought them with fists or fury, but because your very existence disrupts the illusion they built. You see, they were never fighting you. They were fighting the force that stands behind you, the universe itself, the energy that chose you, the current that flows through your veins like wildfire. And now, they've hit the dead end. The walls they built to keep you caged. They're closing in on them. You've been tested, pushed, made to doubt your own reflection. They whispered lies in your ear, told you that you were alone, that your light wasn't enough. But that was their last move, their last hope. To convince you that your strength was weakness, to make you forget that you are the storm they fear. And here's where I need to check you, chosen ones, because even you started to believe them, didn't you? You let the fog creep in, thinking the universe had abandoned you. But hear me now, the universe never leaves its chosen. It sharpens them in silence. Let me give it to you straight. There's something about being chosen that haunts your enemies at night. It's the weight of knowing they can't touch you, no matter how loud they scream or how hard they push. You are the glitch in their system, the flaw in their design, the mirror that reflects their weakness back at them. They can't rewrite the script when your name is etched into the core of the universe's plan. And that's why they can't play in your face anymore. Every time you rise, every time you shake off their chains, the universe leans in closer, clears the path, and reminds them who really holds the power here. Not them, not their lies, but you. Chosen ones, understand this. Your presence alone disrupts the flow of their false reality. You standing tall is rebellion. You speaking truth is revolution. Your light exposes their shadows, and that's why they scramble. They've reached the dead end. The show's over. Stay sharp. Stay lit. Keep walking like you own the ground beneath your feet, because you do. So, chosen ones, are you ready to feel this truth deep in your bones? Are you ready to walk through the wreckage of what they've built and claim what's always been yours? Drop a 999 in the comments if you know they've hit their dead end and you're done letting them play in your face. This isn't just a video, it's your confirmation. Stay with me, because the deeper we go, the louder your light gets. If you're truly chosen, you won't be able to turn away. This message will pull you in. All right, let's get into it. Number 1. The house of cards is collapsing. When the puppeteer's strings snap, the puppet dances no more. Remember that. Chosen ones, this was never about you simply waking up. It was about them losing their grip. They played the game for so long, thought they had it all figured out. They smiled in your face, sharpened their blades behind your back and laughed while pulling the strings of the system against you. But now, their hands are shaking, their smiles crooked, their control gone. The house of cards they built so high, thinking it could never fall, is collapsing all around them. And you are the gust of wind they never saw coming. They thought they were untouchable, didn't they? They thought the system would always protect them, that the lies would keep you blind. But they made one fatal mistake. They underestimated the power of being chosen. They forgot that when the universe marks someone as chosen, no amount of scheming, no amount of plotting, no fake smiles, no rigged systems can hold them down. The universe doesn't pick favorites for no reason. It picks warriors. It picks those who can carry the weight, who can withstand the storms and still rise. And when the universe moves, nothing stands in its way. You've seen it now. Their walls are cracking, their words are stumbling, their grip is slipping. The illusions they cast like spells over your eyes, they're breaking apart like glass under pressure. And I know, for a while, they had you questioning if you were really chosen, if the light inside you was enough, if you could stand against the machine they built. But let me ask you something. How can a machine stop the very current of the universe? It can't. It never could. And that's why they're falling apart. See, they weren't fighting you. They were fighting the force behind you, the universe itself. They tried to play the system against you, but the universe is the architect of systems. They were pawns on a board they thought they ruled. But now the board has flipped, and they're choking on their own strategy. This is what happens when the chosen rise. This is what happens when the universe aligns itself behind you. And you, chosen ones, you almost gave up, didn't you? They had you doubting, had you thinking you were alone. But the isolation you felt, that was just the universe pulling you back, sharpening you, making sure when you step forward again, you'd be unstoppable. So, I'm going to say this straight. Stop doubting your light. Every time you questioned yourself, they gained a little more time. They stalled your rise, but they couldn't stop it. Because the universe never makes mistakes. And neither did you. They see it now. The fear in their eyes isn't just fear of you. It's fear of what's coming behind you. The power that's rising. The wave they can't outrun. They know the end is here for their games. They know they can't play in your face anymore. The masks are off, the stage is burning, and the audience is waking breaking out. Let me paint it for you. Imagine standing on a battlefield. They brought their armies, their weapons, their lives, thinking they'd bury you under it all. But instead, the ground beneath their feet is splitting open. Their weapons turn to dust in their hands. Why? Because when the universe chooses you, the battlefield itself bends in your favor. The storms calm at your command. The walls fall with your voice. That's the power you carry. That's what haunts them at night. So don't flinch. Don't step back. You are the force they can't contain. You are the crack in their foundation. And every move you make from this point on is a hammer to their crumbling house of cards. They can't stop it, can't rebuild it, can't hide it. You've evolved past their reach. And with that evolution comes a new set of rules. Rules they can't bend, can't twist. This is your moment, chosen ones. The tables have turned. The light you carry has scorched their illusions, and the universe is standing behind you, clearing every path. The house of cards is collapsing, and you are the storm, bringing it down. Stay steady, stay unmovable, because this is far from over. Number 2. Stepping into the fire, rising in power. The flame doesn't apologize for burning. It was born to consume. Let that settle in. Chosen ones, this is where the real shift happens. This is the part where you stop standing at the edge of your power, peeking in, wondering if it's safe to step fully into who you are. You've already seen the cracks forming in their system. You've seen the panic behind their eyes, the tremble in their voices as their illusions shatter. But here's the truth. They're still hoping you'll hesitate, that you'll second-guess yourself. They're praying you won't take that next step, because once you do, it's game over. You've already lit the fire. You've already watched the walls crumble. But stepping deeper into your power, that's when you become unstoppable. That's when the universe doesn't just stand behind you. It moves through you. And let me make this clear. They fear that moment more than anything else. Because once you realize that no chains can hold you, that no walls can contain you, their entire playbook turns to ash. I know you feel it. That pull in your chest. That whisper that says, there's more to uncover, more to unlock, more power waiting for you to claim it. You've walked the hard road, taken the hits, stood alone while they laughed. But here you are, still standing. And that's no accident. That's what it means to be chosen. So here's the challenge. Are you ready to step into the fire fully? Not just dip your toe in, not just light the match and watch it from afar, but walk into the blaze and come out forged, unbreakable, untouchable. Because the moment you do, the game is done. You're not just holding the cards, you're writing the rules. But stepping into that fire means going deeper than you ever have. Peeling back the layers of lies they wrapped around your mind. It's about unlocking the hidden truths they kept from you, the tools they never wanted you to wield. And if you're ready for that, if you know in your bones that it's time, then I'm inviting you to go even further with me. For the real ones, the ones who feel this fire in their chest and aren't afraid to walk through it, there's the obsidian inner order. This isn't for the faint of heart. This isn't for those still clinging to comfort. It's for the chosen ones ready to step deeper into power. To not just watch the system fall, but to build something unstoppable in its place. Inside, you won't find the surface level noise they feed the masses. You won't find watered-down truths or easy answers.
If you're down there in
what you'll find is the blueprint to manifest the life they said you couldn't have. Tools and knowledge that flip the script and put the power squarely in your hands. Starting with a glimpse into the future, a preview chapter from our upcoming guide, Modern Manifestation Mechanics, a supernatural guide to prosperity in the technological age. This isn't your average think positive fact. This is the science and spirit behind bending reality, making it work for you. Because let's be real, they've been playing with the system, twisting it to keep you down, while hoarding the secrets of how the universe really works. But the tides have turned. The curtain has been pulled back. And now you get to play with the system. You get to shape it, mold it, bend it to your will. This is about reclaiming the tools that were always yours, but kept hidden. By joining the inner order, you're not just gaining access to content, you're stepping into a circle of chosen ones who get it, who know the weight of being chosen, who know what it feels like to carry the fire and not back down. This is about community, about standing shoulder to shoulder with others who aren't afraid to rise. Together, we amplify the power. Together, we shape the foundations of what they thought was unbreakable. And listen, let's be clear. This isn't charity. This isn't about supporting obsidian like it's somehow out. This is an exchange of power. You step up, you invest in your rise. And in return, you get the keys they never wanted you to hold. You get early access to life-altering knowledge, to the tools that don't just light the path, but clear the obstacles in your way. The link to join is in the description. Simple as that. Go to the armory. But here's what I need you to ask yourself. Are you ready to hold all the cards? Are you ready to stop playing by their rules and write your own? Because the game has changed, and the ones who realize that first, they're the ones who win. So here we are. The fire is lit, the door is open. You can stand at the edge, watch from a distance, or you can step into the blaze and rise as the force they never wanted you to become. The choice is yours. But know this, the universe has already chosen you. It's waiting for you to choose yourself. Let's take this journey together. Let's rewrite the rules, because they've hit the dead end. And now you are holding all the cards. The storm is yours. You need to share it. Number 3, the unmasking, fearless authenticity, unleashed. When the lion remembers it's a lion, the jungle remembers too. Never forget that. Chosen ones, feel this in your soul. Your confidence is no longer something fragile they can chip away at. No longer a flicker of light they can smile down to your feet. No, that ember they tried to stomp out. It's a wildfire now, a raging, untamable force, burning through every lie, every illusion they threw your way. And it wasn't sparked by them. It wasn't born from their approval. This fire was lit by the universe itself, forged in silence, sharpened in your darkest hours. You were sculpted by struggle, carved by pressure, and now you stand as something they can neither bend nor break. There was a time they loved to see you shrink. You remember it, when they tried to box you in, to make you question your own reflection, when they smiled in your face, but behind closed doors, they sharpened their claws. They thought if they pushed you into the shadows long enough, you'd forget your own light. They underestimated the chosen. They didn't know that pressure only makes diamonds, and silence only sharpens the voice that will one day roar. Now here you are, and that voice they tried to silence, it's no longer a whisper, it's a war cry. Your words aren't just sound, they're truth, sharp, unshakable, undeniable truth that cuts through the fog they've spent so long creating. Every syllable you speak carries weight now. It strikes, and they feel it. They feel the quake in the system every time you open your mouth. That's the power of fearless authenticity. That's what happens when the chosen step into their full voice. And let's be real, chosen ones, you didn't always stand this strong, did you? They had you second-guessing, questioning your power, holding your tongue just to keep the peace. But keeping the peace for who? Then, the manipulators, the deceivers, the ones who knew your power long before you did and worked day and night to keep you from it. Enough of that. Those days are over. The moment...
Somebody back to the guy in top, let's claim that as well. You know what? Stop walking to the pipe and shoot the pipeline res bill.
Chosen
I'm not
one.
trying to take the room, we're just trying
Stop
to kill their
stressing.
Pipeline and
Supernatural support has arrived.
Go now, cargo
You may not fully realize it yet, but something incredible is shifting in your life right now. What once felt like a weight on your shoulders is being lifted. The timing of this message is not accidental. It's divine. You were led here because a higher power has begun moving mountains behind the scenes. You are no longer alone in this. Heaven has heard your silent prayers, felt your internal battles, and has already sent help. Help that you may not have seen yet, but it's real, it's active, and it's unstoppable. So watch this video until the end. There is a divine flow of energy that has been stirred just by your presence here. There is a strange and beautiful moment wishes in the comments along with the number 99, symbolizing alignment and completion. This is more than interaction. It is manifestation. Let your wishes echo into the universe and allow this moment to amplify what you truly desire. Now, Chosen One, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel and take a breath. Chosen Ones, there is a name. Because you are entering a state of divine release. The tension, the anxiety, the silent panic that has tried to hold you hostage, those days are coming to an end. You're not simply being told not to stress. You are being given the power and the backup to actually stop stressing. Supernatural support means you are no longer expected. Burden on your own. You were never meant to walk this road alone. The stress was never your responsibility. It was a signal, a call for divine reinforcement. And now that call has been answered. You see, what you thought was delayed is not denied. There's a reason why you felt stuck, like the breakthrough was just out of reach. It wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Your delay became the stage on which your supernatural assistance would make its entrance. Because when help arrives in a way that is unexplainable by human standards, only the supernatural can take credit. That's what's happening now. A divine force has been released into your life to remove what no longer belongs, to clear the obstacles, and to ensure you reach the next phase of your destiny. What makes this moment powerful is that it's not about what you do anymore. It's about what's being done for you. Your only task is to believe, not with a shallow hope, but with deep knowing. You are in the middle of a divine rescue. And this is not just any rescue. It's a majestic one, a supernatural one, the kind where sudden phone calls change your life, the kind where emails arrive with the exact opportunity you've been praying for, the kind where someone mentions your name in rooms you've never stepped into, all because heaven decided enough is enough. The stress you carried is being dissolved in the presence of divine action. Don't second guess this. Don't talk yourself out. Don't let your logical mind cancel out the spiritual miracle. This is beyond logic. This is beyond coincidence. You are in the direct path of supernatural intervention. It has already begun. The energy around you is shifting. The pressure in your chest will ease. The fog in your mind will lift. You will begin to feel moments of clarity and peace you haven't felt in a long time. Those moments are evidence. Evidence that help has arrived. You'll notice people acting differently, resources showing up, a sense of being cared, even when you're unsure how. That is not random. That is divine. There is a reason this video found you where it did. This is confirmation. You've been battling silently, holding emotions that no one sees. But heaven has always seen them. Your tears were not wasted. Your silence was not overlooked. Your fatigue was not forgotten. It was all being recorded in the spiritual realm. And now that realm is responding. A team of angels has been summoned. Energetic support is surrounding. Doors are about to open. And not just any doors. Doors you don't need to knock on. They will swing open because they've been prepared just for you. Supernatural support means that timing will begin to shift in your favor. The delays that frustrated you will make sense soon. The disappointments will be seen as redirection. The people who walked away, the opportunities that didn't work out. They were not rejection. They were divine protection. You were not being punished. You were being preserved. Now, in this divine timing, things are unlocking. Not because of what you did, but because of who you are. You are chosen. And the chosen ones don't just survive. They rise. They are backed. They are seen. And they are sent home right when it looks impossible. Let that sink in.
Well, there's got to be some sort of achievement, right?
That was us emasculating.
That's why I want to be on Krillo's team.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Just put me above the 2100 mark.
That was like entire
rookie service.
Fucking
You assholes.
Just all idiots.
Sister, what are you talking about?
Oh, I
shit.
can't join the rookie
Nothing
service
but shit.
anymore.
Fucking
I've won.
unbelievable.
You don't want to join those servers anymore.
We're too good. They're too shit.
147 Steam friends that mostly play the rookie service. Come on.
I don't understand what you're saying.
You have that
my
mates.
bros.
I want to play there too. Fuck these high score fucking limits on servers. Medis, you can't be too low. These rookie servers, you can't be too high. I don't even want to play in Medis, regardless of the fucking high score limit, because they fucking kicked me early for no reason.
Well, they had a reason.
To their doctrine, and if you don't, then you
Yeah,
get kicked.
that
They
is
kick
so
you because
bad.
it's like a reverse psychology thing. They're trying to get you to like playing on their server more by kicking you. It's kind of funny.
I had never seen a server joins the rookie server and nobody plays
I've
it.
never seen a server worse than Medis, honestly, with the player base. It's weird.
They can be actually
They
really
are-
fun to play with.
they are
but
the
it just
most-
depends on if you understand them or not.
I don't want to say.
No, it depends on what. Dude, I didn't get to play with them. I got kicked before I got my slot.
They're like
Krillo,
kind of more
can you do
than
Marine
other
again?
times.
I could if you want me to.
The thing is,
Can you
the
come
thing
again
is-
so we can start?
that
I definitely
that each other,
You're all such a
that
piece of shit. I don't
appreciate
give a
it to
fucking
each other.
fucking hide.
if you get in there, they will
You need
bitch at
someone
each
who's
other
feeling that.
for somebody getting a
Already
shotgun
heard,
and turning right instead of turning
Yeah,
left.
you need- I-
And
I'm
they'll say you
emphasizing the
through
point.
the game. Nobody
you.
cares what you have to
Just
say.
so we can start, you know?
Gangster?
Gangster.
Quiet now. Quiet now.
Is it gangster in the team?
Single goddamn
Yeah, that's
fucking
gangster.
player left in this game. I don't know why I play
It's
this
okay,
game.
gangster. You know what, gangster? I'm gonna fist bump you, alright, bro? Let's just get one more game going, and you're gonna have a good game. I promise, bro. I'm gonna.
No.
I'll be your assistant in the game, alright? I'll follow you around and stuff. Come on.
What?
Okay, we gotta go home. Sweet. Okay, good. Keep lifting. Much trouble in the face as you can. This song's pretty good, I'll leave it. Kicking him, bro. Just let him stay.
Kick him. Who cares, man?
Dude,
Why you gotta kick him? Exactly.
We don't got enough players in this game anyway, homie. Just let him play. He can be pretty fun to play with sometimes.
Seriously, who cares? Everybody's different, bro.
Are we getting Gideon?
No.
No.
Not like he's hacking or anything. Fuck.
He's sometimes like kind of in a negative state, but
I hate when people
it's all
want to
good,
kick
man.
people when it's a dead game, bro.
Just make him more sad.
Yes, bro, you're absolutely right. Make him more sad.
on getting spur upgrades at some point.
Getting
Care
that.
about fade performance.
You're talking really quiet. 1 second.
For upgrade.
No, don't do that. Get cracked.
Oh, that's my volume. What's up?
He wants spurs, he said, for fades.
I was saying
no,
you
we're
can
getting
consider getting spurs if you want. You don't have to. But if you care about fade performance, then that'll really help the team, I think.
I'm getting high. You don't need spurs.
Fade with
Any way
the
you
band.
want to go about it.
Best.
You do it. You do you, man. Or whatever.
Oh my god, Courtyard has fucking turrets up everywhere.
That's fine. We'll just break all the money. They can have turrets.
Old res, get bile. Old res,
Generators
get bile.
drop.
We're maintenance right now. Protect the rep. Resist me.
Sorry.
Bars open.
You're not going to overcome those turrets without bile. FYI.
Working on it.
I'm just mentioning it. It was last game for whatever reason the comm didn't get whatever he was doing. You need to punish their back res as much as you can. Cafe, departures, east. All these nodes should be relatively easy to hit.
File on the way.
Yeah, we gotta clear out Courtyard. Oh my god. They're trying
Miles
to just
up, by the way.
take out our RT. They're trying to take out our RT.
So guys, now that bile is up, we need to gather in maintenance access and rush with the gorges to kill the sentries and the artifacts.
That's right. We need to be assaulting Courtyard from all directions if possible, or stick with the gorges. Because they can't cover all sides of the attack. But somebody should be escorting the
We have
gorges.
to go out
pretty
once.
important.
We have to all go out
We're
once.
not going to get spores if we can't get rid of the center. Like they're
crowd
arcing our
around Courtyard.
maintenance.
Okay, push in now. Start laning Courtyard. Try to overwhelm the enemy.
We lost our gorge.
Get the battery. Get the sentry battery. Disable the sentries.
Got one sentry. Got one
Drive
sentry.
the battery.
Nice,
One sentry
nice.
left. Nice.
Yeah, batteries down,
Push it,
batteries
push
down.
it, push it, push
Kill
it,
those
push
arcs
it,
so I
push
can redrop my res.
it. Get those up.
Keep pushing it. There's more coming though. Watch out.
Yeah, reinforcements are coming, guys.
Arc's almost down.
Good job.
I'm gonna go lurk when I spawn.
Alright, working on
I'm gonna set
lead.
up more turrets. I'm gonna take out the turret factory.
Fillet your bagel? Of course.
All right, we pushed them out. Get the side lanes now.
Good job.
Get the side lanes.
Break all the money.
Good job, Courtyard. Good job. Good job.
That's how it's fucking done. You don't want these lame ass
yeah.
strats to caught you up, catch you off guard.
Let's get the power out in Courtyard. I need help on this power.
Always defending stab. They might push there at some point.
Yeah, they're probably gonna do
Upper hand
strand gate
side.
push gen.
Yeah.
Good job,
Nice
Spartans.
work. Good timing on that
When you-
start.
Commander, if you start meta, I'm gonna go.
Working on it.
Thanks, bud. You're a real one.
Thanks, Daddy.
Oh, I hate
Wow, good work. We got a third checkpoint locked down now almost. We should keep laning courtyard in all directions while simultaneously laning everything that we built.
Meta and Libra on the
courtyard, because stability is about to get attacked. Remember I mentioned stab earlier?
Guys, start laning. We're not on the lanes right now. They still don't have gates.
FYI, fighting the power is of very little value.
10 phase gate in minutes. We need to be there.
Oh wait, sorry, I was behind the pillar, my bad. I completely missed that. I wasn't expecting that gate location. They do have a gate in Cafe, they do have a gate. Keeping the back rows, guys, get east wing, brief the... Don't bother pushing with me, Gorge, I'm just harassing. Just stay in bar, keep healing. I just need heals.
Folks, wait for phase to come in and get at least one swipe in on the marine, and then you can rock it in there if you like. Your scope will be more effective that way. Check the scopes.
Just heal, bro. Just heal, just heal, just heal.
Nice. Good job.
Alright, Bales are on the...
Oh my god, I didn't even see that gate.
I'm backing out, guys. I gotta heal up.
They're staying out first. Keep hitting their back rows, guys.
I'm giving you a Kragan bar.
Hit the gate, hit the gate, hit the gate, hit the gate.
Red zones right now, right? That's good.
Back off, Gorge. Back off, back off, back off, back off, back off, back.
Yeah, Labyrinth. This is a hell of a song. Been listening to this.
Got this condition.
What a bit.
I don't feel
We need 2 scopes to take this gate. And get.
Really?
Everyone else hit back up.
Let's clarify, my mic doesn't sound shit, right? Kind of breaks up.
Advanced meta now, working on charge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thank you for holding bar. Good job for Parkins.
Guys, why central power? Unimportant. Get kept.
What the darkness? Help me on the gate on cast, help me!
Alright, dropping a tunnel in front. He's sending out Max. He's trying to get a sneaky gate. He'll probably go for ballpark gate. Well, lots of drifters in.
They should be on 2 nodes, guys. They're in a bad spot.
Yep, they have been on 2 nodes for a while now. Martians is wide open. I love it. We'll probably drop that high when we have enough.
I'm spending a lot of money on, oh, okay. Nice. I was getting drifters for patrols. Oh, we get team. We just didn't have a team.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, Metro.
Look at that
Metro.
eyeball.
I want some Metro.
Thingy, honeycomb going on.
Hey. click Metro or Metro MMPG. I don't know which was which.
No, not MMPG. No.
I want Metro. Okay, not MMPG.
Settle down.
Summit.
I don't want Summit. Let's do Metro. Play too much of Summit. I don't want Descent.
Hell yeah.
Too much Descent. We play that on every other server. Let's just do something we don't normally play.
Yeah, it looks kind of like my hand a little bit. Isn't that crazy? Somebody took like a picture of my hand or something? Or, I don't know, used AI to generate it? I don't know. It looks too much like my hand. Like, even like the tendons and stuff.
Singular other map entire game that had brain that nobody plays anymore.
You should have killed that smoke when I was building the gate, and I was relying on you to kill that smoke.
Giddy, you don't get a
He just likes being mean to me because I always yell at him when he serves. So, it's fair enough. It's give and take.
It's okay, guys. It's my fault. My fault.
Hey, it is though. You could listen to me. I responded to a single fucking thing I said. Come on. Your mic echo is fucking incomprehensible. No one can understand anything you're saying.
Imagine T7 watching us now going, the fuck's wrong with you? Like, why do you do that? We're like, oh, because we like having fun and pressing W and like throwing grenades at shit. It's like, no. But I get 0.275% more efficiency if I shoot
mic on
first.
for everyone else too? How's my mic volume right now? It's not your volume. It's the echo.
Sister, what do you have against efficiency?
There's no. What echo are you talking about? You speaking about the speakers?
We hear the echo.
Like seriously.
Dude, you do have an echo. I don't know. Do you have speakers on or you don't have headphones, do you?
I got speakers, yeah. I'm talking about, do you hear my voice? I can make voice just you.
That's the problem, bro.
That's why. That's the problem. That's the problem.
That is,
bro.
shut up. You can't use your mic while you don't have fucking headphones on.
Who the fuck uses fucking speakers, bro? Come on.
That's not true. I'm literally using my mic's integrated, or my laptop's integrated mic, and there's no echo. I'm not using headphones.
Man, how do you not use headphones for video games?
Echo.
Why do you? So most sound cards have something called echo or noise cancellation, which you can activate by going into the sound settings. If you have an onboard sound, it's probably made by Realtek, and
yeah, if it's Realtek, turn off listen. No. Anyway, turn off listen to microphone.
Bro, seriously, headphones for video games? Like, you gotta have headphones.
I don't know if I like gaming on nice surround speakers because it's just more immersive. But headphones just I don't know, just not a lot of situational awareness.
So way better. You can hear people crawling around you, walking around you.
All right, team. We can do this. Looks like they're running right to lobby.
They choose.
Push him. Alright, failed. I'm excited.
incoming lobby.
Send help.
Being wrenched. Underpass being wrenched. And they're gonna go to subway.
We really lost the fucking ball. Because the whole team went to lobby.
Hey, come back here. I healed you. What? You running back to the hive, but I fully healed you.
Alright, kill the guys in the atrium, then I'll drop the hive. Clear atrium before I drop this hive. Is atrium clear?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Got him.
Okay, hive dropping.
There's one around here somewhere. And Mark got him.
Lobby.
Too many people on the other side.
Ooh, that marine's good.
Oh, my Hydra trying to bait him.
Some good marines on that team.
is coming, don't worry.
Cool, homie.
Yeah, it's not even, it's just funny now.
Almost died there. That was a close one.
I almost got it. There's the gate at Midtown.
Alright, I got you, man.
Whoops, went the wrong way. Sorry, I was looking at my map. Hey, can we get, oh, I filed. Oh my god, I'm retarded, sorry.
It's all good.
We're getting quick
They're
towards
coming around
run.
the corner.
Run.
Not of energy! Alright, I just gotta evolve. Gotta get that there, or...
Bales are up.
See that? I pinned him up against the wall. Just ridiculous, man. Ooh, they got shotguns. Watch out. Backing out too low.
Underpass.
Underpass.
See if I can stay underpass. Yeah, I couldn't even make it there in time. Never mind.
They're pushing underpass.
We're putting a comm chair and deliver. It's really great. Sacrificing my gorge to allow this gate. Just harassing. Gate's almost down.
Got me. Oh, what's up with a little trap? Turrets got us pinned down. Can't really take Midtown until we take out the turrets Midtown. Highly recommend Team Lane just lanes it.
There's a shoddy there. I don't know if it's any good. Let's get out, Team.
How the universe came to be what it is today. But how is it possible for a black hole to exist inside a star?
What's going on in the lobby?
Stars are like cosmic blacksmiths. In their fiery cores, they're forging the majority of the elements we observe in the universe. But the stars that could have existed at the very beginning of the universe are something different. Instead of conventional stellar cores, they harbored black holes within, allowing them to grow to unimaginable sizes and beyond. Ordinary stars arise from the clouds of gas and dust as gravity makes the densest regions of the cloud collapse. The resulting mass of material heats up and creates a protostar, an early stage in the evolution of a star. Eventually, the newly formed hot core accumulates enough matter from the surrounding rotating disk of gas, becoming a main sequence star that starts producing energy through nuclear fusion. It took our sun about 50 million years to reach this phase. The majority of stars will spend most of their lifespan as main sequence stars, but eventually they will either become white dwarfs if their mass isn't big enough or go supernovae. After a star blows up, it can end up as a black hole or a neutron star, and the path it takes depends on how massive it was. When our sun runs out of hydrogen in about 5 billion years, it will turn into a red giant, expanding 200 times in size before finally shedding its outer layers and transforming into a white dwarf, a celestial object that's roughly 200,000 times denser than the Earth at about the same size. This dense sphere will slowly cool to about 18 million degrees Fahrenheit, and in about 10 billion years, the white dwarf sun will crystallize. The process is somewhat similar to how water turns into ice. Although the material is different, in the case of the sun, it will be carbon and oxygen solidifying.
We need to get more RTs, atrium back up.
And stars over 10 times the mass of the sun will have a different fate. They're big enough for their cores to collapse after a supernova, but they lack the mass required to become black holes. So where does this leave them? Deep inside these stars, the extreme pressure squeezes every proton and electron so tightly they merge to form neutrons. Neutrons cannot be compressed any further, so they counter gravitational pressure, and the star finds a new balance. Neutron stars are the densest objects in the universe apart from black holes. They can be just the size of a small city, roughly 12 miles, but still have a mass of the sun. On Earth, neutron star material the size of a sugar cube would weigh as much as 1 billion tons, about as heavy as a mountain. But how do stars become black holes? While the star is still active, the two prevailing forces work against each other. Nuclear fusion and the intense gravity created by the star's own mass trying to squish it. Once there's no fuel left to power nuclear fusion, there's no longer a force to counter gravity, and the star collapses on itself, just like the controlled demolition of a concrete building. Einstein believed that anything could become a black hole if it had sufficient mass and was compressed inside a certain radius. Black holes keep on growing throughout their lifespan, devouring any material that gets too close. When this happens, the region where gravitational pull becomes so strong that nothing can escape increases, and the black hole consumes even more nearby material. It's somewhat like the sinking of ground due to the collapse of underground structures. Although with black holes, it's a gravitational sinkhole, gradually accelerating as its event horizon grows. Normally, black holes have a limit on how fast they can expand. This happens because of something called the Eddington luminosity limit. Basically, it's the point at which a black hole can't take in material faster than it already does. If you were filling a car tire with air and it had small holes in it, the increased pressure inside would make some of the excess air escape. In space, something similar happens with rotating black holes. As matter spirals towards a black hole, it goes faster.
Somebody needs to come kill this, Oh, the gate.
This process is so efficient, radiation emitted away surpasses the energy output from nuclear fusion in stars. Just imagine a future where we find a way to harness this energy and use it for our needs. Even supermassive black holes with a large surface area that attracts matter have this limit. They are at the center of almost every galaxy out there, and some of these supermassive black holes have been recently discovered to be much larger than we thought. That's one of the greatest mysteries in astronomy. The gradual accumulation of matter over the edge of the universe fails to explain their enormous size, but there's something that might unravel the mystery.
I'll try not to skip it next time.
Quasi-stars must have been the largest celestial bodies to ever exist.
Yes, it's right now, so I have to
kind of gigantic black holes we've discovered so far. The universe not allowed black hole stars to form. But at the beginning of time, space was packed.
No stop Marines. Rocket spoke to Marines on the floor. Knocked out.
Under its own gravity. Because there was so much of it, it piled up, giving rise to baby stars of extraordinary magnitude. Although there's an idea that they may have originated from dark matter halos.
They have no gate though. Get their other gate. They have no other gate. They have no gate.
Thousands of supermassive stars can form. Normally large stars would go supernova and leave behind massive black holes. These celestial giants were just large, were so huge that their size allowed them to absorb the explosive force which otherwise the stars
Upgrade.
These ancient stars have experienced implosion, which transformed their stellar cores into if you somehow observe this phenomenon from a close distance,
They're marching. Those X's are marching the lobby, I think.
now that there's a baby black hole inside a quasi-star, it starts thinking like this point, the black hole is tiny, and it's spinning around this creating massive hot material. Speed of light.
Incoming arrival.
They're gonna get our hive, guys. We need everybody at the hive.
Rush their base.
Oh, no,
Rush
it's
their base.
Rush their base. They're
Rush
not
their
going to be able to
base.
take our cars that quickly anyway. Just rush their base. We're stronger than them.
Just go for their
Take out the
beacon.
checkpoint.
They're walking in right now. They're walking with a bunch of exos.
They cannot beacon. I just killed their all. They cannot get on power.
I think we just
Power
trade.
IPs.
Just trade. Trade. Don't even
maybe
fight it. Just trade.
Well, if they can't spawn, they can't kill.
Exactly.
Oh, upgrades, bro.
What about the gate?
They might take the tunnel. They might take the tunnel.
This one's spawning.
Coming out of their little...
The one, the other one. Chair. Have an XT4 chair though.
Never-hungry, monstrous black hole ready to drift across space in search of more material to gobble up. But what if a star like this wandered into our peaceful celestial neighborhood? Once a quasi-star found its way into the
Drop another hive.
its gravitational influence.
Where? Oh, derelict.
They don't have any IPs. Well, maybe they have one.
Okay, they're gonna rush subway next.
Oh, they're dead. He's over.
There's no commander.
Last chair. Oh, they do have a chair. They have a... Okay, I was wrong.
Oh,
Arrival chair.
So is there
Oh, you should not have dropped that high. Yeah, I don't know. I was being a little cocky with it.
I don't think they have an arms left. We just want the chair. Yeah. Loving it.
It's not like we didn't see that coming. Like, we could have walked back into space and not our original waste of time.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Gideon, your words don't hurt me from the beginning. Like, we all know
You're the least offensive person on this game.
Why
Once you told my dust that I should have spoken a blank email to President.
Do you think we don't recognize you? Why isn't your microphone on? Do you think we don't recognize you? Right? This does not hurt my confidence. Because you always...
Okay, so now we're examining. Sometimes ending up trapped within gas clouds. Today's as new stars would be born, primordial black holes would eventually find their way into the star's cores. Even black holes for massive Pluto would grow enormously within a few hundred million years, a relatively short period of time in the star's evolution. So, even our sun could have one, which the great mate Stephen Hawking once suggested. If it were a black hole about as massive as Mercury, you wouldn't even notice it, although it's very unlikely. But there's one method scientists think might help identify such cosmic containers.
Oh man, my cat wants more attention than you guys. They tricked on the fucking desk because I was playing. And blocked them all.
But red giants with a tiny black hole inside would be a bit cooler than normal. Researchers have
I think Game P1 was the game that I was using, and the whole team gave up. So we basically got a free win.
Your whole team gave up because I fucked you up.
I don't know. I see a lot of energy, but I don't always see a lot of wins.
Well, I mean, I made it to red badge. That was tier 7. Have you ever made it to tier 7? I did.
Snap. I just keep
Sorry,
evolving.
dude. I don't need to try to impress you.
Listen,
I like to
tier
tell
7, and at that point, I said, you know what? I'm good here, and I'm gonna go have some fun and try crazy strategies.
Our team, our Patreon. Side. Big map. I can figure.
They just gave me sniper rifles and bigger maps, man. This game needs to be like Tribes.
Sniper rifles, dude, it should be like Battlefield, bro. Command and Conquer.
Right? Should have some fucking magnums too.
AI, bro.
Also,
Impossible, man.
My favorite game genre. Listen, my favorite game. Fuck that game. My favorite game of this genre is Quake 2 Gloom. The mod for Quake 2, which Natural Section kind of ripped off, but didn't. That was a guy with a rocket launcher that had 3 shots in the rocket launcher and he had a pistol. Basically, that was the one thing that.
It's collapsed. May have been dead for a while. We should add computers into this game. Cytoskeleton, then you have multicellular life.
Cleanse the intruders.
It really does look like it's from like a microscope or something. Yes, I think it all.
I swear I'm with the same fucking losing retards every fucking round. They're all fucking retarded. Fucking idiot rookies. You guys have been playing for years and you still don't know how to play the fucking game.
Hey man, there could
Fucking
be more ways to play it.
Go back to the fucking basics. Maybe learn training. Go to the training.
Basically, this was like a shell.
Relearn from the
Say
beginning.
something specific, Gideon, that we should work on. Specific.
He's going to say, I come from California and I really like Kent. That's what Gideon says.
Okay, Gideon, we like you too.
Oh, he's gone. He's still here.
We're doing the flight or do that? Like, we're not anywhere.
Yeah, it's because we're all leaving. Because nobody wants to play with
You're all fucking retarded and you forgot how to play the fucking game where you assist to a second high, you build a tunnel, go to the second fucking high location, get the fucking tunnel. Are you stupid or what, dude?
How you talk to people,
for real, man.
Listen to you.
Be gentle. Be gentle to the
Okay,
retard.
don't go to the second high. Don't get the fucking tunnel. Don't win the game.
Bro, I cry every night, okay? I say one bad word, I'm gonna be crying, bro. Hard.
I'm switching sides.
He's not. He's not.
Submerged kind of liquid.
He got kicked out of the server.
Yeah?
Yes! He tried to switch.
Okay, we got data. System.
I'm gonna make my tea, guys. Hold on, I'll be right back. It's only gonna take like 20 seconds. Actually, I gotta pee too. Come on.
Before you is one of the fastest objects in the universe. Its rotational speed is hundreds of times greater than that of a helicopter's blades, and its mass is nearly 2.5 times that of the Sun. Yet, despite this immense mass, its size would allow it to easily fit within the boundaries of New York City. This is Pulsar J09520607, the heaviest neutron star ever discovered by scientists. It spins at 707 revolutions a second. That's faster than the blades of your kitchen blender or an aircraft turbine. Faster than anything you can imagine. What makes it spin at such an incredible speed? It requires energy. And the pulsar has an energy source, a white dwarf, the remnant of a star that once shone, but has now fallen victim to its companion. The white dwarf is too close to the pulsar, due to the immense gravity and powerful radiation, its matter begins to strip away, turning into a stream of superheated plasma that rushes directly towards the neutron star. The pulsar absorbs this material, gaining even more energy for its rotation and radiation. Meanwhile, the white dwarf rapidly loses mass, becoming dimmer and weaker. It's practically evaporating, surrendering its matter to its more powerful companion. But this process is dangerous even for the pulsar itself. Gradually, it accumulates matter and approaches its critical mass. If it exceeds this limit, its matter will no longer be able to resist its own gravity, in which case the pulsar risks collapsing into a black hole. The neutron star is one of the most exotic objects in the universe. Its formation is an event of galactic proportions. Every time a massive star, at least 8 times the mass of our Sun, exhausts its nuclear fuel, the thermonuclear reactions in its core cease. The core can no longer withstand its own gravity and begins to collapse at an incredible rate. This causes its temperature to soar to billions of degrees. As a result, the star's outer layers expand and cool simultaneously, turning it into a red giant. When the temperature and density in the core reach a critical point, a supernova explosion occurs. Afterward, all that remains of the once massive red giant is its core, now a neutron star. The mass of a star like this is typically around 1.4 times that of our Sun, but its size is truly astonishing. Its radius is only 6.2 to 7.4 miles. Nearly 70,000 times smaller than the Sun's radius. Imagine the Sun shrinking in size until it becomes a sphere small enough to fit within New York City, which is about 35 miles wide. Compressing an object 870,000 miles in diameter into something just over 6 miles across has a massive effect on the matter that makes up the object. Neutron stars are a striking example of this. According to NASA, just 1 teaspoon of neutron star material would weigh about 1 billion tons on Earth. That's equivalent to the mass of 3,000 Empire State Buildings or the entire human population. This makes neutron star material the densest substance we can observe in the universe. It has such an unbelievable density that if, under some fantastic circumstances, a piece of it the size of a sugar cube was placed on Earth, it would instantly punch through any surface, drilling downward through the layers of the planet until it reached the core. Compared to this, the density of everything around us is practically negligible. Another astonishing property of a neutron star is its temperature. On average, its surface is heated to 600,000 to 1 million degrees Celsius. And right after its formation, it can reach a mind-boggling 10 million degrees Celsius. That's about 1,800 times hotter than the surface of the Sun. Yet, despite these extreme temperatures, the surface of a neutron star remains solid. Scientists believe it's covered by an iron crust about 0.6 miles thick. What lies beneath remains a mystery. How matter behaves under such temperatures and pressures is impossible to replicate in laboratories, leading to various theories. Some scientists suggest that inside neutron stars, protons and neutrons break down into even more fundamental particles called quarks. If true, the depths of these objects could be composed of a mysterious quark matter. Another mind-blowing feature of neutron stars is their immense gravity, caused by their extreme density. The gravitational pull of Jupiter or even the Sun which
Yeah,
holds
yeah,
an
but I
entire
don't
planetary
understand,
system
because
in
your
orbit,
ship's game,
pales
you're
in
boosted.
comparison to what
Solid,
happens
right?
near a neutron star.
Yeah,
Its gravity
you're
is
boosted.
beyond comprehension.
I can see that you're boosted.
To grasp the extent of its power, imagine your
But we
spaceship
can also
somehow
understand
landing
your
on a neutron
skills
star
and
surface.
use.
To take off and escape its gravity, you would need to reach a speed of 93,000 miles per second, half the speed of light. In comparison, escaping the sun's gravity only requires a speed of 383 miles per second.
The back wall of your
If by
neighbor's
some
flat just said,
fantastical means you dropped an object weighing less than a pound onto a neutron star, it would accelerate so much upon impact that the energy released would be equivalent to the explosion of 1,000 hydrogen bombs. The only stronger gravitational pull found in the universe belongs to black holes. Neutron stars are so incredible that they're rightfully considered among the most exotic objects in the universe. However, as it turns out, they come in a variety of types, and some are so unique that when scientists first discovered them, they thought they might be signs of extraterrestrial life. In 1967, British scientists detected a strange phenomenon. Something or someone was sending signals to Earth from space. These signals arrived with astonishing regularity, as if something in the distant cosmos was switching on and off with precise timing. At the time, it was interpreted as a possible message from extraterrestrials, since nothing known at the time could produce such signals. Later, it turned out that these signals came from a pulsating radio star, an object emitting rhythmic pulses, which is how pulsars got their name. A neutron star is not only an extremely dense and incredibly hot object, but also one that rotates at an extraordinary speed. This effect arises due to the conservation of angular momentum. To better understand how this works, imagine a figure skater spinning on ice. When they pull their arms close to their body, their rotation speed increases dramatically. A similar process occurs with a neutron star. As a star collapses under gravitational forces, its diameter shrinks and it begins spinning faster and faster, reaching dozens of rotations per second. Over time, neutron stars generally slow down, reducing their spin to about 8 rotations per second or even less. However, if a neutron star has a companion, such as a white dwarf, the situation changes. By absorbing material from its partner, the neutron star retains angular momentum, which can accelerate its rotation. This spinning acceleration effect can make some neutron stars rotate dozens or even hundreds of times faster than regular isolated neutron stars, transforming them into pulsars. As they spin, pulsars emit powerful, destructive beams of energy from their poles, producing sweeping lighthouse beams, opposed to the radio waves, visible light, X-rays, and gamma rays.
Look at that, and listen to
flashes from artificial signal.
This normie sex haver won't shut the fuck up.
Moreover, pulsars.
I had a guy arguing with me this whole time saying, just kill the shell, let's kill the hive. Like, dude, we killed every single shell in their hive. We're shooting the hive and the tunnel. We're shooting the hive currently. Could you fucking help us, please?
Dude, they were busy reacting to everything I was doing.
This is far from the limit of neutron stars. In the distant Sextans constellation, 5,000 light years from us, scientists have discovered a true monster, making ordinary neutron stars seem almost tame in comparison. Its name, PSR J09520607.
You know what?
This is the heaviest and one of the fastest spinning neutron stars ever discovered. Normally, neutron stars have a mass of around 1.4 times that of the Sun, but this pulsar's mass is nearly 4 solar masses, close to the point of no return. According to recent calculations, if a neutron star reaches a critical mass of 3 solar masses, it can no longer resist its own gravity and will ultimately collapse into a black hole. If a neutron star rotates at a normal speed, say no more than 30 times per second, it only needs a mass slightly above 2 solar masses to collapse into a black hole. However, for pulsars, the situation changes. Rapid rotation increases a star's resistance to collapse. PSR J09520607 is one of the fastest pulsars ever observed, spinning at an astonishing 707 rotations per second.
I'm dropping sub. It's down now. Go get it.
Blades in a kitchen blender spin much more slowly. Thanks to this immense speed, the pulsar continues to resist turning into a black hole, but this does not last forever. For a long time, scientists sought to understand why this neutron star spins so fast and has such a massive weight. All the data suggests that it must have a stellar companion from which it actively accretes matter, increasing both its mass and rotational energy. This hypothesis was confirmed. Orbiting the pulsar at 236 miles per second is a companion star, likely a white dwarf, being slowly devoured by the pulsar. This process will eventually lead to the complete destruction of the white dwarf. Pulsars of this type are called black widows because they consume their stellar partners, growing more powerful in the process. However, everything has a limit. Even before fully absorbing its companion, PSR J09520607, given its mass approaching the critical threshold, will likely collapse into a black hole. A supermassive, rapidly spinning pulsar like this has the potential to obliterate anything caught in its gravitational field and intense radiation, including the solar system. If J09520607 were to appear in orbit around Mars or Jupiter, the closest planet would be its first victim, torn apart by its accretion disk.
That's what I got
the remaining planets would be thrown off their stable orbits, chaotically drifting toward the pulsar. Earth would be doomed too. The atmosphere would instantly evaporate, and the surface would turn into a scorched, lifeless wasteland. Eventually, the pulsar would devour the sun, and upon nearing 3 solar masses, it would collapse into a black hole, wiping out the remnants of what was once the solar system. However,
breathing
even
is gay.
such an incredibly dangerous cosmic killer has rivals that
you
surprise
drink
it
water, dude?
in certain
You drink
aspects.
water?
One of them is located just 1,000 light years away. We're
Get
talking
the
about
drink
one
water,
of the
dude.
brightest pulsars ever observed, and one of the closest to Earth.
You do the same kind of
This
shit Hitler
pulsar
does,
is
man.
known as Vela, and astronomers recently detected the most powerful light burst ever observed coming from it.
More like
Studies of Vela have shown that its gamma radiation is about 200 times stronger than that of an ordinary pulsar. This suggests that something unusual is happening within its pulsating power streams, which extend 0.7 light years into space, a distance 15 million times greater than that between Earth and the Moon. Normally, particles accelerate with specific zones around a pulsar, but these regions alone cannot explain the extreme energy levels observed in Vela. Scientists speculate that particle acceleration may occur beyond these usual zones, or that powerful magnetic fields exist outside them. Another possibility is that neutron star winds accelerate particles, ejecting them with enormous energy. The scientific community has yet to reach a consensus, and research into this pulsar is ongoing. One particularly fascinating discovery is how Vela would sound if its signals were in the audible range for humans. Like other pulsars, Vela emits regular radio bursts, pulsating approximately 11 times per second. NASA scientists recorded these signals using a radio telescope and converted them into an audio format. The resulting sound resembles the whir of helicopter blades or the roar of a car engine. Since Vela is relatively close, scientists have also been able to study its incredibly powerful magnetic field in detail. Neutron stars are known for their colossal magnetic fields. Vela's, for example, is 2 trillion times stronger than Earth's. But imagine, there are neutron stars in existence with magnetic fields 1,000 times stronger than Vela's. These stars are among the most dangerous objects in the universe. Their power is so immense that if a person were to be just a few thousand miles away from one of these stars, their body would instantly dissolve into space under the influence of a colossal magnetic field, which would disrupt the atomic structure of their body. They're called magnetars. This is an extremely rare type of neutron star. Only 1 in 10 supernova explosions gives rise to a magnetar, a celestial body possessing an unimaginably strong magnetic field, the most powerful in the entire universe. These neutron stars can generate gamma ray and X-ray bursts, releasing colossal amounts of energy. The strength of their magnetic field is so great that it causes a unique phenomenon: the slowing of the star's rotation to just 1 full turn every few seconds, or even minutes. Moreover, even the magnetar itself cannot withstand such extreme magnetic fields. Periodically, these fields cause starquakes on the surface of the magnetar. These quakes make the star's solid crust crack and shift, releasing an enormous amount of energy from its depths. This makes the magnetar unstable and, at that moment, more dangerous than ever. During these events, the energy ejected from its core in mere milliseconds can equal the energy the sun emits over an entire year. If a magnetar were just 10 light years away from Earth, the radiation from an explosion like that would instantly destroy our planet's ozone layer. Fortunately, the closest known magnetar, XTEJ1810197, is located 8,000 light years away, meaning Earth is in no danger. However, if it were just a little closer, concerns would be justified. If this magnetar experienced a starquake within 4,000 to 6,000 light years of Earth, the intense burst of gamma radiation could partially affect our atmosphere. The first problems you'd notice would be power outages and interference in your car's navigation system. While trying to figure out the cause of the disruptions and avoid getting lost, Earth's atmosphere would be under siege by high-intensity gamma radiation, causing severe damage to power grids and satellite communications. The consequences would be even more catastrophic if the magnetar were even closer. But what if, theoretically, a magnetar took the place of our Sun? Let's imagine that an 8-mile sphere with 1.5 times the mass of the Sun would replace our parent star. However, you wouldn't have time to realize that the Sun had dimmed strangely. Your death would be instant. A magnetar's magnetic field is a quadrillion times stronger than the Sun's. It would instantly strip Earth's atmosphere, leaving it unprotected against extreme radiation. The radiation intensity would be so immense that it would break the chemical bonds of most elements. Everything would be thrown into chaos, and the closer you are to the magnetar, the more catastrophic the consequences. Mercury would be the first victim. The magnetar would alter its orbit, pulling it in. Under the influence of colossal gravitational forces, the planet would begin to deform and break apart. As it approached within a few thousand miles, Mercury would be completely torn apart into atoms by the magnetar's ultra-powerful magnetic fields. Venus, Earth, and Mars would soon follow, meeting a similar fate. As for the gas giants, their orbits would be disrupted, but they might just stand a chance of survival. It all depends on how long the magnetar remains active. Its energy could be depleted before it has the chance to completely incinerate the remaining planets. Magnetars burn through their energy incredibly fast, and after about 10,000 years, they begin to lose their powerful magnetic fields and quickly fade. This is another reason why these objects are so rare in the universe. Pulsars, on the other hand, can exist for much longer, billions of years. This gives them enough time for rare and unexpected events to occur. For example, even such an extreme object as a pulsar can acquire its own planetary system. PSR 1257 plus 12, located 2,300 light years from the Sun, has 3 planets that belong to the super-Earth category. Rocky planets with masses several times that of Earth. Another pulsar that was not doomed to loneliness is PSR J2007 plus 3120, which has at least 2 exoplanets in its system. Both are several times more massive than Earth, and complete an orbit around the pulsar in 1.9 and 3.6 years, respectively. This is a rare phenomenon. Out of the thousands of known exoplanets, only about 15 have been found in pulsar systems. In fact, only 0.5% of all pulsars are known to have planets. It's difficult to imagine the extreme conditions that might exist in worlds like that. The chances of surviving there are almost non-existent. But if life did exist on a planet in a pulsar system, it would be like a wild teenage party. Bright, painful for the eyes, and carrying a high risk of death. Additionally, all planets in pulsar systems share a common trait: highly elongated orbits. For example, in our solar system and in most others, planets typically follow nearly circular orbits, while planets around pulsars move in highly elliptical ones. This doesn't exactly explain how such dangerous objects manage to form planetary systems, but scientists have some theories. It's believed that these worlds may form from material ejected during the supernova explosion that created the pulsar, or from the remains of a companion star that was consumed by the neutron star. It's also possible that pulsars can capture planets passing nearby due to their immense gravity. For now, this remains a scientific mystery. While you were watching this video, more than 100 supernova explosions occurred in the universe. Some of them left behind neutron stars, while others turned into black holes. These events continue to shape the cosmos, creating new mysteries for us to unravel. We've all seen the solar system pictures in textbooks. The Sun slightly larger than Jupiter. But that isn't the right depiction of the scales. The Sun is so massive that you could fit about 1,000 Jupiters inside. Impressive as it is, our Sun isn't the biggest star in the universe or even our galaxy. That title goes to UI Scooty.
More clearly, writing music that channeled higher wisdom, and her very essence changed. She was no longer just performing, she was transmitting. Then there's Keanu Reeves, known not only for his acting but his deeply spiritual nature and minimalist lifestyle. He has long avoided processed foods, not just for health reasons, but because of how it affects his emotional and mental clarity. His colleagues report that his presence shifts the energy of every room he enters. This is what happens when the chosen protect their frequency. And finally, Yvonne Orji, the actress and comedian who openly credits her spiritual discipline, clean living, and consecrated lifestyle for her success and inner peace. She abstains from alcohol, processed sugars, and harmful ingredients not because of legalism, but because she's protecting something sacred within her. Like you, she knows the price of clarity is vigilance. So then, let us not be like others who are asleep, but let us be awake and sober. 1 Thessalonians 5:6. You can't afford to live like the world. You weren't built like them. Your spirit is too alert, your calling is too loud, and the margin for error is too narrow. Here's what they don't want you to know. Some of these additives have occult origins. Yes, occult, symbolically charged, energetically manipulated, designed not just for taste, but for frequency suppression. They weaken your shield, they open doorways, they make you more suggestible, less discerning, more programmable. Imagine trying to download God's instructions while someone plays static full volume. That's what happens every time these additives enter your bloodstream. You don't lose the signal, but it gets scrambled.
That would sound like a good idea.
What should have been a clear go left becomes silence. What should have been wait becomes confusion. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. Matthew 6:22. If your perception is blocked, if your third eye is clouded, if your crown chakra is shut down, how can you discern the path? How will you hear the whisper when it's time to move? This is why so many chosen ones feel lost, anxious, overwhelmed, not because they're failing, but because they're being interfered with, spiritually, biologically, energetically. So let's bring this home. Have you ever eaten something and immediately felt regret, not because of calories or health, but because something inside you felt off? Your prayers felt weaker, your begins to shift. Awareness is the first form of protection. Purity is your greatest weapon. You don't need to become perfect overnight, but you must start paying attention. Start asking, what am I eating? Who made it? Why is it in this form? What is it doing to my frequency? And then move boldly toward the truth. Clean your temple. Strengthen your shield. Fast when you're led. Pray over every bite. Research your ingredients. Trust the signals of your body. You are not like them, and you were never supposed to eat like them. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Let your renewal begin with what you consume, not just in thought, but in fuel. Chosen one, you've come too far to be taken down by a snack. You've survived betrayal, spiritual warfare, isolation, ridicule, and temptation. Don't let your downfall come in the form of flavor-enhanced deception. Not now. Not when your gifts are awakening. Not when God is preparing to pour something into you that requires you to be a clear, steady, unshakable vessel. It starts with one choice, one meal, one decision to treat your body like the divine sanctuary it is. Let them laugh. Let them mock your weird eating habits. They laughed at Noah too, until the rain came. But you are preparing for rain. You are building the ark. You are clearing your channels. You are tuning your antenna. You are preparing for transmission. And when the downloads start, when the dreams return, when the visions sharpen, you'll know why it mattered. Chosen one, have you ever wondered why your heart sometimes feels heavy for no reason? Or why moments of deep clarity seem to vanish after a certain meal? The answer may not lie in your schedule, your stress levels, or even your prayers. It may lie hidden in your food, specifically in the vibration of what you've consumed. One of the most devastating energetic blockages that afflict the chosen arises not from chemicals or artificial substances, but from something more ancient and deeply entangled with the soul, the consumption of meat from animals raised in fear, isolation, and suffering. This is not just a matter of diet or ethics or even health. This is a matter of energy transfer. You see, when animals live in confined spaces, treated not as living beings but as products, their bodies become saturated with vibrations of terror, grief, anxiety, and despair. Every moment of their short, tormented lives imprints that energy into their cells. So when their flesh is consumed, that energy doesn't just disappear. It enters you, it becomes part of you. You aren't just taking in protein, you are absorbing frequencies of pain, frequencies that were never meant to dwell within a vessel of divine light like yours. The Bible speaks directly to this energetic principle, although many have read the words and missed the depth of their implication. But Daniel resolved that he would not defile himself with the king's food or with the wine that he drank. Daniel 1:8. Daniel didn't refuse the king's delicacies because they were merely impure by religious law. He knew that what he consumed would alter his energy, his clarity, and his ability to receive divine revelation. You, chosen one, must understand the same truth. Your calling is too high, your purpose too exact, for you to be careless about what you allow into your sacred system. Because your energy body is more open, more porous, and more responsive than the average person's, the impact of consuming low-frequency meat is multiplied within you. These energies don't just pass through, they stick. They gather at specific energetic centers, especially the solar plexus and heart chakra. These two centers are not random. They are the hubs of your confidence, your willpower, your sense of self, and your capacity for love, compassion, and divine connection. When these centers are blocked, everything in your spiritual life begins to feel muted. Your intuition dulls. Your purpose becomes foggy. Your ability to manifest is smothered under an invisible weight. You may feel like You're praying, but nothing is moving. You may sense that you're meant for something, but the clarity never comes. Have you ever felt like the voice of God was silent, even when you were doing everything right? What if it's not that heaven is quiet, but that your channels have been muffled by what you've unknowingly eaten? Scientific and spiritual studies alike have observed profound transformations in the elect, those who have chosen to eliminate meat from suffering animals entirely. In many documented cases within just 21 days, the energetic blockages in the heart center began to dissolve. For many, this shift was accompanied by unexpected waves of unconditional love, described not just as emotion, but as a full-body awakening. Some reported crying spontaneously, not from sadness, but from an overwhelming feeling of divine connection. For the first time in years, they felt truly seen, truly guided, spiritual transformation that occurred once he stopped consuming pain. Erykah Badu, known not just for her music, but for her energetic presence, also follows a vegan lifestyle rooted in spiritual clarity. She believes the frequency of food directly affects the purity of her aura and the power of her intuition. When asked how she remains so grounded and spiritually aligned, she often points to diet as a non-negotiable pillar of her lifestyle. And then there is Rich Roll, ultra-endurance athlete and spiritual motivator, who speaks about how plant-based eating transformed his sense of divine purpose.